Hello everyone, I'm Top Romance here. Before watching the video, please take 3 seconds to like the video and subscribe to the channel. This will motivate me to create more quality videos. Thank you very much. I wish you a pleasant day. Hwayan, wake up, wake up. A man tightly held the hand of a woman lying unconscious on a stone bed in a cave. It's been so long. If you don't wake up, I will continue to persevere. The fifth disciple, Chaogao, heartbroken and distressed, held Nin Huayan's hand tightly, not letting go. Nin Huayan, do you know how I feel about you? Nin Huayan lay uncomfortably, furrowing her brows. Damn, it's that old fifth. What's happening? Where's ADL? Wasn't I ascending to heaven? The sect leader of Lin Kei's sect, Nin Huayan. Chaoyao looked at her distressedly, whispering, Master, I like you. I've liked you for so long. But he gently caressed her cheek. His hand slowly moved down to her lips. You'll never know. Nin Huayan slightly opened her eyes, Chao Zhao's whispers lingering around her ears. I don't want to call you master anymore. Huayan, you are mine. Nin Huayan, dazed and confused, thought, what's happening? Did I fail to ascend? My body hurts so much. Chao Zhao suddenly leaned down and kissed her lips. I want you to be mine. Nin Huayan was shocked. Ugh, is this really old fifth? He's so bold. He dares to disrespect his master. She angrily opened her eyes slightly. Damn, this body has no strength at all. Old fifth, why do you smell of blood? Did I fail to ascend? Those forms in the darkness staring at us surely won't let us go. Old fifth's wounds are so severe. It seems it was a fierce battle. This foolish child. To protect me, who knows how much he sacrificed. Nin Huayan recalled Chao Zhao's words before she ascended. Master, ascend without worry. I and the disciples will protect you. Chao Zhao covered his mouth and coughed a few times. His palm was red with blood. His whole body seemed to have lost all vitality. His eyes full of deep emotions looked at her. Huayan. Nin Huayan felt heartbroken for him. Seeing him about to kiss her again, Nin Huayan frowned and cursed inwardly. This damned kid is at it again. Are you addicted? Chao Zhao leaned down. He embraced her and gently kissed her lips. Nin Huayan's cheeks turned bright red. She cried inwardly. Boo-hoo, damn it, I can't resist at all. What should I do? Ugh, ah! Chao Zhao was startled and let go of Nin Huayan. He looked at her, surprised and confused. Master, what are you doing to me? Why can I hear your voice? Nin Huayan closed her eyes tightly. Her heart was racing. I like him treating me like this. But this isn't right. You can't commit incest. Come to your senses. Chao Zhao leaned down and kissed her neck. Master, so you also like me doing this? Master, what if I do this? He placed his hand on her waist and squeezed. Nin Huayan's eyes gradually became dreamy. Ah, I really want to continue. Should I pretend to be asleep? Chao Zhao kissed every inch of her skin. That's right, Master. You know nothing. It's all your bold disciple. Ah, who? Nin Huayan couldn't bear it and let out a soft moan. It feels good. Her tightly closed eyes slowly opened. Nin Huayan gently placed her hand on his chest. Their eyes met. Chao Zhao smiled at her and softly called Master. Nin Huayan, embarrassed, quickly avoided his gaze. Chao Zhao frowned as he looked at her. Master, can't pretend anymore, so I'll continue. He opened his eyes wide, pretending to be adorably surprised as he looked at her. Master, this is wonderful. I knew you wouldn't die, Master. You've finally woken up, Master. You're awake, Master. This is fantastic. Ning Huayan gave a faint, arrogant laugh as she looked at him. How ridiculous. As if your master, Ning Huayan, would die. Chao Zhao frowned, his face full of pity. Master, he threw himself into her arms, hugging her tightly. Master, I've been so scared these past few days. Ning Huayan smiled at him and asked, what were you afraid of? Chou Gao pressed his face against her chest and said pitifully, I was afraid that as soon as I closed my eyes, you would suddenly disappear. I was afraid I'd lose you forever. Ning Huayan smiled and patted his back to comfort him. It's all right. Your master is fine now, isn't she? She slightly furrowed her brow. Yet someone wanted to harm me. I wonder how the sect is doing. Ning Huayan pushed herself up from the stone bed and stood up. Chao Zhao looked at her in shock and surprise. Ning Huayan stood up straight and said to him, You're severely injured. Wait here and don't move. Your master will go out and have a look. She then pressed her hand on a switch on the wall. Outside the cave entrance, people were lying everywhere. Her eyes contracted. Her whole body stiffened in disbelief as she looked at the scene before her. Ning Huayan stepped forward and glanced around. When Yuan Huang saw him pick up Ning Huayan, he became furious, bristling with anger. Fifth junior brother, what are you doing? Put master down. Fifth junior brother, what are you doing? Let go of master. His small foot was grabbed by Chao Dao. His whole body was suspended in midair. Yuan Huang angrily shouted, Don't you know I'm the senior disciple? Let me go. Chao Zhao angrily threw him aside, his eyes cold and sharp. I don't care how you ended up like this. Just stay away from master. Yuan Huang tumbled on the ground. He stood up, angrily staring at Chao Zhao's back. You want to throw me out and be alone with Master. Dream on. He followed Chao Jiao into the cave. Chao Jiao placed Ning Huai'an on the stone bed. He angrily narrowed his eyes and coldly looked at Yuan Huang. Tell me, how did Master end up like this? Yuan Huang lowered his eyes and weakly said, earlier when fighting with Qing Yi sect, she was severely injured. My soul was almost scattered. Master used her last bit of spiritual energy to protect my soul from dissipating, so I could cultivate again from the beginning in my original form. Master doesn't know when she'll wake up. It's all my fault. I've let Master down. Hearing this, Chao Jiao sighed. Qing Yi sect attacked with full force. You alone resisted their attacks for 7 days and 7 nights continuously. I know it must have been very difficult. But now, what should we do about Master? Yuan Huang suddenly remembered something. He rushed to the medicine cabinet and rummaged through it. Fourth junior brother instructed him to leave behind some Huiling Dan. It can replenish spiritual energy, bring back from the brink of death. It must work. Found it. Yuan Huang joyfully held up a bottle of medicine. Master can be saved. Quick, feed it to Master. Chao Dao put the pill into Ning Huai'an's mouth, but she kept her lips tightly closed, refusing to open her mouth. Chao Dao became so anxious that his hands and feet were in a frenzy. It's not working. Master won't open her mouth. Yuan Huang, standing beside, also became anxious and hurriedly reminded him, Be gentle. Be gentle. This is Huiling Dan. Fourth junior brother used 15 years to refine one bottle. Be careful with it. Chao Jiao pinched Ning Huai'an's cheeks. He put the pill in his own mouth. With his other hand, he embraced her waist and lifted her up. Yuan Huang's eyes widened as he watched him. What are you doing? Chao Dao ignored him. He lowered his head to feed her the medicine. Yuan Huang's face turned ashen. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? He angrily glared at Chao Dao and roared, Chao Dao, you bastard. Just you wait. When Master wakes up, she'll definitely punish you. Chao Jiao looked at him coldly and asked, Are all the Qing Yi sect people gone? Yuan Huang sat on the ground, covering his face with his hands, grumbling. Qing Yi sect dared to bully our Ling Qi sect. Do you think your senior brother would let them go? He showed his sharp claws with a fierce expression. All the Qing Yi sect people who came here were killed by me. Not one was spared. Chao Giao patted his head approvingly. Well done. However, Qing Yi sect and us have never had any grudges or enmity, yet they kicked us while we were down. They didn't gain any benefits either. Yuan Huang frowned and looked at him, asking, You mean Qing Yi sect was directed by someone else? The person behind this has a deep grudge against Master. Chao Jiao didn't answer him, but coldly said, Let's go. Knowing Master's personality, after she wakes up, she definitely won't let this slide. The sect members should disperse for now. Yuan Huang nodded excitedly. Right. I've long been displeased with those sycophants. At Lingqi sect's mountain, the outer disciples had gathered in large numbers. Why hasn't the sect leader appeared yet? I hope nothing has happened. The sect leader is so intelligent, so powerful, and so formidable, she'll definitely be fine. You're all talking so much, isn't it just an excuse to gaze upon the sect leader's face? What are you arguing about? You have the nerve to talk about us. Aren't you the same? Last time when the sect leader was drunk and looked at you a bit more, you were so happy you couldn't sleep for 3 days. Don't think I don't know. Zhou Zhao's face darkened. He angrily roared, Silence. The outer disciples looked at him blankly. Who are these two? That's right, whose dogs are out for a walk without being locked up. Who are they? Never seen them before. Yuan Huang frowned and said to Zhou Zhao, These outer disciples have never met you. Now that we've become like this, they certainly won't take orders from us. Zhou Zhao closed his eyes and said coldly, Did you hear what they were saying? We just need to say it, and that's it. Yuan Huang looked at him blankly, not understanding, and said, Say what? Whose words? Zhou Zhao opened his eyes, looked at the outer disciples, and shouted, The sect leader orders to suspend the ascension. Go into closed-door cultivation for 100 years. The outer disciples were thunderstruck upon hearing this. Their faces were full of disappointment and surprise. What? Cultivate for 100 years? Does that mean for 100 years we won't be able to see the sect leader? If we can't see the sect leader for 100 years, what's the point of staying here? No, I don't believe it. Even so, I won't leave the sect leader. No, I don't believe it. Even so, I won't leave the sect leader. Zhou Zhao ignored them. He turned his back and said coldly to Yuan Huang, Let's go. Yuan Huang followed him, muttering and cursing as he walked. I've long disliked these outer disciples. Each and every one of them doesn't cultivate properly all day. Dressing up like ghosts, who are they trying to impress? But you said it was the sect leader's order. Zhou Zhao glared at him coldly. Do you have an objection? Yuan Huang shook his head in fear and said, No, absolutely not. Master must be awake now. Let's go back. In the cave, Ning Huai'an had awakened. She sat on the bed, her back turned, and coldly asked outside, What's all this chatter about? Zhou Zhao was surprised and startled. Master, you're awake. Ning Huai'an turned her head and glanced at him. Zhou Jiao lowered his head and answered coldly. This disciple guessed you would surely investigate the truth. So I told the outer disciples that you wanted to go into closed-door cultivation. That's why they were about to leave. Ning Huayan sighed and waved her hand. It's good that those disciples are dispersing. Saves me from being annoyed every day. You actually guessed that my ascension failed. Do you have any difficult opinions? Zhou Jiao looked at her and quickly reminded, Master's ascension is a big deal for cultivators in the world, but it's not necessarily a good thing. Ning Huayan frowned and glanced at him. Why do you say that? Ascension has become a legend in the realm of cultivation. In the mortal world, no cultivator has ever been able to ascend. In these 500 years, the news of Master's ascension will naturally have supporters and detractors. Those who like it aren't necessarily friends. Those who hate it aren't necessarily enemies. Ning Huayan fell silent upon hearing this, thinking to herself, my enemies. Besides liking to eat and play, and having a fondness for handsome men, I don't seem to have offended anyone. Who could possibly hate me? Zhou Jiao frowned and looked at her helplessly. Master's weakness is her fondness for handsome men. It's very fatal, but if you only loved me, that would be great. He looked at her and quickly said, when you, Master, were ascending to immortality, the sword formation protecting the mountain betrayed you. Not only did it fail to block the difficult heavenly thunder, but it also attacked you at the crucial moment. It must be that the mountain-protecting sword formation was tampered with by someone. However, this formation was personally arranged by you, Master. In the world, probably no one can break it. Yuan Huang also spoke up at this moment, Master. He stepped forward, with a bunch of fruits in his mouth, his eyes sparkling adorably, staring at Ning Huan En. Master, the other day I became a spirit flame on Lingji Mountain. There were 9 colored fruits that have the effect of restoring one's beauty. Ning Huan laughed and picked him up. Thank you, Yuan Huang. She smiled smugly at Zhou Jiao. He muttered softly, Xiang'er. Ning Huan laughed and looked at him. All right, get ready. We should leave now. Let's go. Zhou Jiao looked at her, frowning seriously, and said, Master, since you're pretending to have ascended, you must keep up the act completely. Ning Huan smiled and glanced at him. You arrange it then. A moment later, the three stood before a tombstone. Ning Huayan looked at the tombstone. Ling Qi sect leader Ning Huayan. She frowned and asked, is it enough to just leave some clothes? What if someone digs it up? Zhou Jiao looked at the 2 sets of clothes on the table and smiled. Don't worry, Master. Even if you've ascended, your reputation still remains. No one would dare to dig it up. A while later, the 3 descended the mountain. Ning Huayan looked up at the sky and said happily, I've been in seclusion cultivating for years without coming down the mountain. The mountain scenery is still as beautiful as ever. Zhou Jiao looked at her with gentle eyes. Indeed, Master, do you remember the year you took in our group? Not far away, someone looked at the 3 in surprise. Can animals talk now? The person next to him frowned and looked at him. Is something wrong with your brain? There's no such thing as talking animals. The 2 argued loudly, neither giving in. Ning Huayan glanced at the 2 of them, then looked seriously at Yuan Huang on her shoulder and said, You're an animal now. Don't talk. Do you want to be caught and used as a mount? Yuan Huang laughed awkwardly, rubbing his head. I understand. The group of people pointed at Ning Huayan and said, I'm talking about the lady in front, but her appearance compared to the sect leaders is completely different, like heaven and earth. I think I heard the sect leader's voice. I really want to meet the sect leader. If I could just meet her, I wouldn't regret even if I died. Ning Huayan sighed. Let's go quickly. Let's go down to the town. The crowd passing by became lively. A stick of tangulu was passed over. Ning Huayan held the tangulu stick in her hand, smiling happily. It's been a long time since I've had tangulu. The delicacies of the mortal world are truly nostalgic. Zhou Jiao looked at her, Master. Ning Huayan and Yuan Huang both glared at him simultaneously. Zhou Jiao smiled and quickly changed his words. Xiang'er, if you like it, Jiao'er can find all the delicacies in the world for you in the future. Yuan Huang saw him starting to ingratiate himself with Ning Huayan and became so angry his fur stood on end. Bullying this divine beast who can't speak now. Right, too much, too much. In the inn's guest room, Zhou Jiao looked at Ning Huayan sitting on the bed and smiled, saying, Master Xiang'er, for safety, Jiao'er will sleep in the outer room. Call me if you need anything. Ning Huayan nodded. I understand. Go and rest. Zhou Jiao went to pick up Yuan Huang. You come out here too. Yuan Huang refused, struggling. No, I won't. I won't in the middle of the night. Yuan Huang curled up next to Zhou Jiao. Zhou Jiao, who had his eyes closed, suddenly opened them. He recalled the scene of kissing Ning Huayan the other day, his cheeks flushing red. Suddenly, a scream rang out. Ah! Zhou Zhao's eyes flew open. Master. He quickly sat up, worried, and ran to her side. Master. Ning Huayan's eyes were tightly shut, her mouth continuously muttering, "Ah, run quickly." Hearing this, Zhou Zhao let out a sigh of relief. So it was just sleep talking. He lifted the blanket beside her and sat down. Ning Huayan turned and hugged him tightly. Zhou Zhao lay down, holding her in his arms, smiling gently. The next morning, Zhao Zhao smiled and looked attentively at Nin Huayan. He picked up his chopsticks and took a piece of food for her. Master, eat some more. Nin Huayan silently exclaimed in her heart. Wow, I can't eat anymore at this point. Nguyen Huang also came over and looked at Zhao Zhao, asking, Little Five, I just woke up. Why aren't you sleeping in bed? Where did you go? Zhao Zhao smiled provocatively at him. Of course, I woke up to serve, Master. Nguyen Huang looked at him with a frustrated expression. You woke up early to steal the chance to serve Master first. I've learned my lesson. Tomorrow I must wake up early. 3 days later, a group of people carrying swords ran scattered. The three Nin Huayan approached and was surprised to see this scene. Nguyen Huang stepped back a bit, then used all his strength to charge forward and strike the large rock hard. A big bump appeared on Nguyen Huang's head. His face spun quickly to this side. Nin Huayan was startled, her eyebrows furrowed tightly. What's going on? The sword sect master suddenly opened his mouth and bit hard on her neck. Nin Huayan frowned. Ah, what are you doing? The sword sect master released her neck, then gently licked her earlobe. Nin Huayan angrily pushed him away. I said, what are you trying to do? The sword sect master said nothing. He raised his hand and squeezed her chest hard. Nin Huayan couldn't help but let out a soft moan. Ah, outside, Nguyen Huang worriedly knocked hard on the stone door. Master! Master! Hearing this voice, Nin Huayan suddenly came to her senses. The sword sect master smiled and said, Thank you, Miss Huang. Nin Huayan nodded and walked straight out. Things have come to this point. Let's go somewhere else to talk. Going outside, looking at the bright sky in front of them, the sword sect master couldn't help but sigh. Being locked up for just 3 days feels like being imprisoned for a lifetime. He looked at Nin Huayan beside him and asked, I forgot to ask, Miss Huang, did you come here to save the sword sect's treasured swords? Nin Huayan looked at the swords on the ground and said softly, But your sword sect's swords have all been taken by your disciple. The sword sect master smiled and shook his head. It's my incompetent management. I've made Miss Huang laugh at me. Nin Huayan looked at him coldly and asked, But you seem so calm, as if you don't care. The sword sect master looked up at the sky and calmly said, People think that our Wusong sword sect's treasure is the swords. The corner of Nin Huayan's mouth slightly raised. But swords are just inanimate objects. The most precious treasure is, of course, the hands that create the treasured swords. And you can create treasured swords. The sword sect master looked at her in surprise, Miss Huang. Nguyen Huang couldn't hold back anymore and rushed forward, Master. The sword sect master smiled at the three of them. Let's go inside. Please follow me. In a room of the Qingfeng Pavilion, the sword sect master looked at Nin Huayan and said, I'm afraid Miss Huang's trip this time will end in disappointment. Nin Huayan shook her head and replied, I didn't come to the sword sect for the treasured swords, but for a person. The sword sect master asked in surprise, Who is it that makes Miss Huang willingly come without hesitation? Nin Huayan picked up the teacup, looked at him and pretended to probe. Sect Master, you must know Nin Huayan, the sect leader of Lingxi sect. The sword sect master was stunned for a moment, then said excitedly, Ah, I've never met her, but I've admired her for a long time. I wonder why Miss Huang mentions Lingxi sect. Nin Huayan lowered her face and said softly, Ah, it's a long story. Nin Huayan and I had a chance encounter. She gave me some guidance on cultivation. She's like half a master to me. It's just that she definitely won't admit it. She took a small sip of tea and sighed, continuing, A month ago, I heard she was about to ascend. I was very happy for her. You know, the inns near Lingxi sect's gate have been crowded with people from various sects for months, just to see her majestic appearance when ascending. The sword sect master sighed with regret. That's good news. It's a pity I didn't have the chance to meet her. Nin Huayan put down her teacup and continued, I was just one of those people. Of course, I would arrive early. But 3 days ago, we discovered that Nin Huayan failed to ascend. Her hand on the table clenched tightly, and her Lingxi sect was destroyed. Because of our past connection, I investigated at Lingxi sect master. Guess what I discovered? The sword sect master looked at her in confusion. What? Nin Huayan picked up her teacup and said coldly, The protective formation of Lingxi sect's gate was destroyed by someone, and the thing that destroyed this formation was a sword from your Wusong sword sect. The sword sect master was stunned, his whole body stiffening. Nin Huayan calmly said, It's said in the world that the swords of Wusong sword sect you made are for this protective formation. It can protect the primordial spirit. I think this is also the reason why Ning Huayan chose the unparalleled sword of the Sword Pavilion as the protective sword formation. Pavilion Master, please explain. Why did this sword suddenly have a problem? The Sword Pavilion Master stood up in agitation. Impossible. Due to extreme agitation, he coughed up a mouthful of blood. Ning Huayan frowned and asked him, "What's wrong with you? Why do you say it's impossible?" The Sword Pavilion Master's face was full of confusion. He couldn't believe Aniem. Aniem couldn't possibly be the one who did it. Aniem agreed with me that she would not collude with him to do wrong. She promised me she absolutely wouldn't harm. Sect leader Ning watched him run away in panic. Ning Huayan quickly stood up and looked at the two people, saying to Chao Jiao, "Follow him." Wen Hong hurriedly stopped her. "Wait, master. He has never lied. It seems someone approached him before, wanting him to interfere during your ascension, but he refused." Ning Huayan, confused, said, "So what's this all about? If the pavilion master had already refused, then who interfered?" Mao Traodao's face darkened. His eyes flashed. "Let me investigate. I'll definitely chop that person into 100 pieces." Ning Huayan's group hurriedly chased after the Sword Pavilion Master. The Sword Pavilion Master pushed open a room door and shouted in panic. They saw a slender figure lying on the ground. He anxiously went to help her up. "Aniem, child, what's wrong?" Chao Gao glanced at him coldly and said, "Let me take a look." Chao Gao approached and gently placed her hand under Aniem's nose. "The breath is still warm. She was just poisoned, or we might still be able to catch the culprit." Ning Huayan looked at the Sword Pavilion Master sympathetically. She turned her back and coldly ordered, "Pursue the sword, Pavilion Master." He held Aniem tightly in his arms, heartbroken. His heart ached. "Aniem, foolish child, you're not obedient. You promised your master to grow old with me, but how could you?" He recalled the happy times they had before. Aniem carried a bowl of soup, approached with a smile, and said, "Master, are you tired? This is a nourishing soup that your disciple personally went to the kitchen to cook for you." The Sword Pavilion Master sat at the writing desk. Without looking up, he coldly asked, "Have you memorized the sword forging incantation I taught you yesterday?" Aniem guiltily replied, Not yet." The Sword Pavilion Master looked up and angrily looked at her. "Haven't practiced the incantation, yet you run off to cook soup. If you like being in the kitchen so much, should I send you down the mountain to be a cook?" Aniem sadly lowered her face. "Master, don't be so fierce. Like this." Aniem is scared. She then gave him a pleasing smile. "Master, please drink the soup quickly. I'll go study the incantation right away, okay?" The Sword Pavilion Master impatiently waved his hand. Go. If you don't go study now, I'll burn down the kitchen right away. Do you believe me?" Aniem mischievously made a face at him. "Master is so fierce. Be careful, or I won't grow old with you in the future." Back to the present. Looking at Aniem's closed eyes before him, he hugged her, heartbroken and full of self-blame. "When you were 7, selling yourself on the street to bury your father, it was I who spent 2 taels to bring you back." Every moment flashed through his mind. "Master, it's delicious. Do you want some? In my eyes, I raised you with my own hands, like raising my own little sister, but how could you?" Little Aniem, beautiful, approached him and gently asked, "Master, when I grow up, can I marry you?" At that time, he angrily and coldly said, "Nonsense. If you continue to talk nonsense, I will definitely expel you from the Sword Pavilion." Thinking of this, the Sword Pavilion Master didn't understand Anien's inner thoughts. How could I like my own master? Suddenly, a cold voice rang out above his head. "What's wrong with liking your own master?" Ning Huayan crossed her arms and looked at him coldly. "There's nothing wrong with her liking you. If you had liked her, perhaps she wouldn't have died." The Sword Pavilion Master panicked and hurried to explain. "No, she's my disciple. Once a teacher, always a teacher. How could I like her? That would be unacceptable to the world." Ning Huayan angrily interrupted him. "Liking is liking. Why be embarrassed because of the master-disciple relationship? Life is short. If you like someone, go for it. No one can forbid people who truly love each other. The people of the world cannot interfere and cannot time." Zhou Jiao stood behind, looking at her intently. "So my master likes you, but you don't care, right?" Ning Huayan looked at the Sword Pavilion Master coldly and said, "Just now, we chased after and encountered a person in black, but I was too weak to fight him and let him escape." The Sword Pavilion Master turned his head and frowned, asking her, "What kind of person in black? Did he have a red dot on his forehead?" Seeing his expression, Ning Huayan guessed, "It seems you've met him before." The Sword Pavilion Master lowered his head and said softly, "Not only have I met him, it's those people. At first, they wanted me to harm the Lingxi sect's leader. 9 days ago, the Sword Pavilion Master was sitting in his study, practicing calligraphy, when suddenly the candle in the room went out. He cautiously looked up and asked, 'Who's there?' A person dressed in black entered and said coldly, 'Master, You seem quite leisurely. It seems the payment from Lingxi sect this time is enough for Wusong's sword pavilion to close for half a year. However, according to the pavilion master's words at that time, he had refused the man in black. The sword pavilion master gritted his teeth in anger. That's right, but who could have expected? A few days ago, late at night, he was sitting in his study. He held a cup of tea and took a small sip. Suddenly, his face changed color, and he spat out the tea. The teacup fell to the ground and shattered. His whole body trembled. At that time, I was chasing that man in black and was very angry. I wasn't paying attention and drank the tea he had poured. It was that man in black who initially used the excuse of pouring tea to seize the opportunity to put poison in it. The man in black laughed coldly, enjoying the sight of his appearance. Don't you know better? Blame me or not. That poison made me completely lose my ability to move. I had no sensation. At this moment, suddenly a neon rushed in from outside, panicking. Master. She went to support the pavilion master and asked worriedly, Master, what's wrong with you? That man in black held a small pill in his hand and looked at her coldly. If you obey my orders, I guarantee your master will be safe and sound. If not, a neon, frightened, looked at the man in black with tears in her eyes, begging, as long as you save my master, I'll do whatever you want. The sword pavilion master weakly spoke up to stop her. No need. A moment later, after the man in black left, a neon, holding a bowl of porridge, looked at the pavilion master with teary eyes and said, Master, I've saved you. Please eat something. You haven't eaten for 3 days. Returning to the present, the sword pavilion master hugged a neon tightly and said sorrowfully, After I was poisoned, the sword pavilion was actually controlled by a neon. Now hearing that the Lingxi sect's sword formation had problems, how could I not guess? It must be that man in black who used my life to make Anian sabotage the sword formation. Ning Huayan didn't understand one thing, but if your disciple An had cooperated with the man in black, why did he still harm her? Zhou Jiao beside suddenly spoke up. Or perhaps, because that man in black wanted to completely erase all traces. Ning Huayan nodded in agreement. What do you think? Zhou Jiao's expression turned solemn. Anian always cooperated with the man in black, thinking it could exchange for the pavilion master's safety. But after problems occurred with the formation, the man in black thought that completely wiping out the Wusong Sword Pavilion would be safest. The pavilion master frowned and said, but the Wusong Sword Pavilion is still safe until now. Instead, it's a neon. A neon who cooperated with the man in black is dead. Zhou Jiao patted Yuan Huang's head and said coldly, This cat's nose is very sensitive. It says it sensed on An Nian's body the scent of the Hehuan powder as well. Probably using the excuse of liking you to get close to him, the man in black persuaded him to spare An Nian and let her drink the Hehuan powder earlier than you. Only this way could he convince the man in black that she would become your woman. Ning Huayan touched her chin and said coldly, So in the eyes of the man in black, Anian and you had already become a couple. She was also involved in this plan. This way, he wouldn't fear you leaking information. The pavilion master looked at Anian with a pained heart. Anian, why? Why were you so foolish? His hand clenched tightly. That damn man in black. When I recover, I will definitely avenge Anian. His face turned pale, and he coughed dryly a few times. Ning Huayan went over and patted his shoulder to comfort him. Pavilion master, your body is still weak now. First, think about yourself. As for those men in black, I won't let any of them off. It's time we need to bury Aniam first. The sect leader looked at Miss Huang Yi with emotion. Chao Gao, standing nearby, coughed angrily. Sect leader, the black-clothed assassin who killed Aniam, is also the one who attacked the sword formation of Ling Ke sect. Don't worry, we will investigate thoroughly. The sect leader picked up Aniam and looked at Nin Huayan in confusion. I believe you, but who are you all? Why are you standing up for Ling Ke sect? Nin Huayan was stunned, feeling a bit guilty inside. Actually, Wen Huang thought to himself, if the sect leader knew that the person in front of him was the ancestral master, he would probably cling to the ancestral master. Nin Huayan rubbed his head and smiled awkwardly. Actually, I also admire the sect leader of Ling Ke sect. She is my idol. How could I let my idol be humiliated? The sword sect leader nodded in agreement. That's right, Huayan. She is righteous and unparalleled in beauty. How could only men admire her? How do you know the sect leader of Lin Ke sect? He glanced at Nin Huayan suspiciously. I've always wanted to meet her. Unfortunately, she's gone now, and even heaven doesn't give me a chance to see her again. The corner of Nin Huayan's mouth twitched. Sect leader, do you perhaps know me? But why don't I have any impression of you? Chao Jiao stood behind, sighing in frustration as he looked at her. How many romantic debts does Master owe, after all? He coughed lightly, reminding the two that they were getting off topic. Why don't we help the sect leader bury his female disciple? Behind the mountain, The sword sect leader knelt before the tombstone with a sorrowful expression. Anim, your feelings for your master, I was not unaware of them. It's just that you and I only had the fate of master and disciple in this life. Looking at Anim's grave before him, he mumbled softly, your master buries you here. I hope you reincarnate into a good family and grow up peacefully. Nin Huai'an approached to comfort him. Sect leader, suppress your grief. We must leave now. This place holds painful memories for you. Staying here won't do you any good. You might as well come with us. The sword sect leader sighed. Miss Huang Ni sacrificed herself to save me. I should go with her to repay her kindness. But Nin Huai'an disappointedly withdrew his hand. But what? Don't you want to come with me? Are you concerned about what happened between us that day? Observing closely, his appearance is actually quite handsome. Moreover, the feeling of being with him is different from being with Little Five. I originally wanted to try again if there was a chance. Chao Dao, hearing these inner thoughts, had a shocked expression. What? Master feels I'm not good enough? Or does Master like the feeling of rarity? That day was my first time. It was also an urgent situation. I must have been too nervous, so I couldn't perform well, making Master unable to forget. It's really terrible. Next time I must perform really well. Nin Huai'an's whole body stiffened strangely, as if feeling the burning gaze. What's wrong? The sword sect leader said awkwardly. Moreover, I am still a virgin. All the assets in the sword sect, benefactor, please take them. Consider it as repayment. It's just that in my heart, I already have someone I love. Nin Huai'an asked him suspiciously, who is this person that the sect leader remembers so fondly? There's actually a man that I, Nin Huai'an, want but can't have. The sword sect leader lowered his eyes and said, 10 years ago, enemies plotted to harm my clan. 10 years ago, a group of old and young people knelt on the ground in fear, with a sword at their necks. The middle-aged man said with a pale face, Senior brother, our grudge has lasted for decades. You want the sword-forging secret manual? I'll give it to you. There's no need to harm my entire family. A Liang is weak and sickly. I might give him to you. The man, they should sit on the cold chair for an hour. Uncle, today you're handing over the unparalleled sword-forging secret manual to this waste. Drove me out of the house to live as a wanderer. He pointed his sword at the face of the man wearing orange clothes, with a vicious look in his eyes. Today, I want the secret manual. I also want the lives of your entire family. Suddenly, a loud shout rang out. Stop. Ning Huai'an suddenly appeared, frowning in annoyance as she looked at the group. I was practicing on a tree and fell asleep. What flies came from nowhere to make such a racket, disturbing my good sleep? The middle-aged man sitting on the chair frowned and warned her. Blonde girl, where did you come from? Mind your own business and get lost quickly. Ning Huai'an gave a cold smile. Seeing your aunt and not kneeling down, I see you turtles are really tired of living, not even opening your dog eyes to see who I am. She raised her hand and threw 3 leaves at the sword-wielding henchman. Screams of pain rang out. Ah! The men in black clothes fell to the ground, their faces full of terror. I used to think that in this world, no one could be faster than my blade. Today, I couldn't stop you. What skill is this? I've never seen it before. So young, yet with such profound inner strength. To be able to use tree leaves as flying daggers. Who exactly are you? Ning Huai'an dusted off her hands and coldly said, This young lady doesn't change her name when walking, nor her surname when sitting. I am Ning Huai'an. Today, you've been hit by my 100-mile powder. You can never use inner strength again in this life. If you do, you'll die instantly. If you let go of your obsessions and return home to farm, you might keep your lives. The henchman fearfully glanced at the man sitting on the chair, their leader. Boss. The leader raised his hand to interrupt him. All right. He walked up to Ning Huai'an and respectfully said, Today, I am no match for you. Thank you, young lady, for sparing our lives. After saying this, he led his men away. Let's go, Ning Huai'an said coldly to the people kneeling on the ground. You're all safe now. The middle-aged man knelt before her, his face full of gratitude. Thank you for saving our lives, young lady. Our entire family will never forget this. Please tell us how we can repay you. My family is willing to do anything for our benefactor, even at the cost of our lives. Ning Huai'an waved her hand dismissively and said, No need. I just couldn't stand the sand in my eyes. That's all. You don't need to bear any burden. However, not having a suitable sword for an escort is quite a waste of effort. The middle-aged man heard this and hurriedly assured her, I am willing to forge an unparalleled sword for our benefactor. As soon as he finished speaking, Ning Huai'an vanished. The boy in the arms of the middle-aged woman's eyes lit up, staring at her intently. Ning Huai'an, Sister Huai'an. The middle-aged man stood up and instructed the boy. She saved us without asking for anything in return, but we must not forget this kindness. Remember, from today on, Our family must forge an unparalleled treasure sword for the woman named Ning Huayan. The boy nodded firmly. For Ning Huayan. I remember and returned to the present. The sword pavilion master smiled and recounted that from that day on, I stopped being mischievous and no longer cared about worldly affairs. I focused solely on studying and forging swords. Before my father passed away, he held my hand, instructing me to complete Ning Huayan's sword. A few years ago, I heard that Ning Huayan had established her own sect. I thought that one day she would seek the most powerful weapon in the world. I worked tirelessly day and night. Perhaps it was that brief glance that day which entered my heart and dreams. For years, in my dreams every night, I would remember that radiant, smiling face, that naturally free-spirited figure. I had long since developed deep feelings for her. He stood up, looking at Ning Huayan apologetically, and said, "So, Miss Huang, I'm truly sorry." Ning Huayan, surprised that she was the one in his heart, forced a smile and replied, "Tonight, I will go and reveal my identity to the pavilion master. Don't be sad. I will make it up to you." Chao Jiao looked at her and asked, "Master, what do you want to do?" "I'll follow whatever you say, little five." Late at night, moonlight shone into the room. The candle in the room flickered weakly. The pavilion master lay sound asleep on the bed. Suddenly, footsteps were heard. Ning Huayan opened the door and entered. She approached the bedside and gazed intently at the pavilion master. Who would have thought that the youth she saved on a whim years ago would now be such a captivating man? Ning Huayan gently caressed his cheek. She never expected him to be so loyal to her. Suddenly, a loud shout rang out. "Sister Huayan." Her wrist was firmly grasped by the pavilion master. Ning Huayan looked at him in shock. The pavilion master held her hand tightly, gazing at her with deep affection. "I've dreamed of you again. I heard you had passed away. Thinking that I could only meet you in dreams, Ning Huayan froze, helplessly looking at him. "Pavilion master, please calm down." The pavilion master excitedly embraced her. "Even if it's a dream, I don't want to let you go. Even if it's a dream, I don't want to let you go." Then, the two quickly kissed. Ning Huayan's small face flushed red. The pavilion master's kissing technique was too good. Last time, to save him, it was rushed. I didn't have time to feel it. This time is different. The pavilion master's hand reached up to remove her clothes. Ning Huayan cried out silently in her heart. "Please, Ning Huayan, you can't do this. You came here today to reveal your identity, not to find him to. Pavilion master, you're too strong." An hour later, Chao Jiao and Wen Huang stood outside, knocking on the door. "Master, are you inside? Your disciple has something to say." Wen Huang angrily bit the corner of his sleeve. "Chao Jiao, you're definitely doing this on purpose." Chao Jiao's expression darkened. "Master, I'm coming in." Master said the pavilion master is very strong, stronger than me. How is that possible? I don't want master to be with that effeminate pavilion master. Inside the room, the pavilion master's eyes changed color. Ning Huayan, could it be that this isn't a dream? He excitedly hugged her with joy. Is it really you, Sister Huayan?" Chao Jiao pushed open the door. "Master, I'm coming in." Ning Huayan hurriedly pushed the pavilion master away. "Let go of me first. It's over. We can't let little five see this." Chao Jiao opened the door and saw the scene inside. His face turned pale. "Master, are you all right? What exactly happened in here?" Ning Huayan coughed lightly and said, "Nothing happened." "Little five, why are you so flustered? What's wrong with you?" Luckily, they managed to separate in time. Chao Jiao raised an eyebrow and looked at her intently. "Even Master's clothes are disheveled. If Master says nothing happened, then I'll pretend nothing happened." He lowered his head sadly. Chao Jiao looked up at her and said, "Master is like this." I haven't finished speaking. The pavilion master sat nearby, shocked, his mouth agape, looking at her. "Sister, you're really Ning Huayan." He ran over and hugged her waist, crying, "Sister Huayan, you really aren't dead. I knew you had a great destiny. How could you die? But just now, He quickly let go of her and knelt before her. "Benefactor, please accept my kowtow." "Benefactor, I was unintentionally disrespectful just now. I thought I was dreaming." "Benefactor, you repeatedly risked your life to save me, yet I disrespected you." The pavilion master drew a small knife, gritting his teeth, and said, I deserve to die." Ning Huayan quickly stopped him. "Wait, the iron cage. That time I had no choice but to save you. Today was just a dream you had. Nothing happened between us. You didn't offend me. There's no need to blame yourself. Stand up first." After speaking, she turned to look at Chao Jiao and asked, "Little five, what's the matter? Do you have something to say?" Ning Huayan sighed inwardly. "Actually, why do you feel guilty, Master? To be honest, I quite liked it. It's just that looking at Master's expression, I'm afraid you heard her inner thoughts." Chao Jiao secretly rejoiced. "This is great. Master isn't a problem anymore." "Haha, Master, I have something to report." "Report here, in front of outsiders." Ning Huayan waved her hand, interrupting him. "Go ahead, Master is not an outsider. No need to be cautious." Hearing this, Master's eyes lit up. Right. This humble one is willing to jump into a fire pit for Sister Huayan. I'd rather die than refuse. Chao Jiao was so angry he gritted his teeth as he looked at Master. He sighed and looked at Ning Huayan, reporting, Master, I've carefully researched all the magical tools you use. I'm willing to die for you, let alone give up all my spiritual power. Ning Huayan sadly caressed his cheek. Little Five, your master doesn't deserve such devotion. She recalled the past, senior brother, senior sister. Little Ning Huayan, holding a sword, ran up to her senior brother and sister and happily said, recently, your junior sister learned a technique. I can turn sword energy into a sword spirit and make the sword spirit take human form. Her senior sister smiled at her praising. Little junior sister has extraordinary talent, so young and already able to transform sword energy into a sword spirit. Truly gifted. The senior brother beside her looked at her reminding, junior sister, you can't play around with this technique. It's not easy to control. Otherwise, before he could finish, he stared in amazement at the scene before him. The sword in Ning Huayan's hand flew up, and suddenly a man appeared, muscular and strong, his body naked except for a cloth covering his shoulders. Ning Huayan's face turned red. Ah, why aren't you wearing clothes? She laughed awkwardly and asked him, oh, right, you're the one I just created, but I'm not yet familiar with this technique. I'll conjure some clothes for you. Sorry about that. After speaking, Ning Huayan waved her hand and created clothes. She went over, lifted his chin and said, from now on, I am your master. If I'm unhappy, you must cheer me up. If someone bullies me, you fight them for me. You can only belong to me alone. The man looked at her with an expressionless face. Ning Huayan stood on tiptoes to look at him, thought for a moment, and said, I'll name you Chao Jiao. Chao Jiao smiled and replied, yes, master. The senior brother standing nearby sighed. Ah, I'm still a step too late. The senior sister standing beside looked at her worriedly. Junior sister, this sword spirit is not a toy. I'm afraid one day you'll regret it. Thinking of this, Ning Huayan lowered her eyes sadly. Little Five was originally created on a whim, in human form, but without any human consciousness at all. But now I've truly created bad karma. Chao Jiao looked at her dejected expression. Master, if it can make you happy, I'm willing to do anything. From outside, a knock on the door was heard. The innkeeper anxiously asked, Huayan Shi, oh no, madam, is she awake yet? I just ordered someone to prepare a bowl of tonic. May I come in? Chao Jiao stepped down, put on his clothes, and looked at her, softly calling, Master. Ning Huayan coldly said, Innkeeper, please come in. Yuan Huang anxiously ran to her side and asked, Master, are you all right? Ning Huayan smiled and hugged him. Master is fine. Little Five transferred half of his spiritual power to me. Yuan Huang looked at her, his voice full of determination. Master, if there's a next time, I'm willing to give you all of my spiritual power. The innkeeper carried the bowl of medicine over, smiling and saying, Madam, shall I feed you the medicine? Chao Jiao blocked him in front. Innkeeper, let me do it myself. Who knows if there's poison in this bowl of medicine? Hearing this, the innkeeper panicked and quickly knelt down, his face full of grievance. How could I harm the sect leader? If madam doesn't trust me, I still beg madam to take me along. This lifetime, through mountains and seas, fire and wind, frost and snow, my actions will be for all to witness. Ning Huayan frowned and said, Little Five, don't be rude. Chao Jiao stepped aside and quickly replied, yes. Ning Huayan looked at the innkeeper coldly and said, Innkeeper, you and I can be considered to have some fate. From now on, you can call me Huayan. As for gratitude, I've never thought about it. You don't need to be so particular about it. The masters looked at her pitifully and asked, do the villagers hate me because I'm useless? Although I'm weak and sickly, I understand military strategy and swordsmanship. Huayan, if you need other skills, I can learn them too. I can learn to cook, I can bathe you, I can listen to you talk. So Huayan rubbed his chin, thinking, that sounds quite good. My 3 disciples are not here, and no one cooks for me. What if I take you as my 6th disciple? She coughed twice, looking at him to remind, Master, our dangerous actions are for revenge, not for fun. Chao Jiao crossed her arms coldly and glanced at the masters. Bringing back someone who doesn't know martial arts like you, I'm afraid it'll be more trouble than it's worth. Your good intentions are fine, but forget about repaying kindness. It'll only tire out the master. The masters lowered their eyes in disappointment. Ah, I forgot. Huayan is not like ordinary women. How could she need a cook like me who only knows how to make rice? Chao Jiao coldly added another blow. You should know that ordinary people remember big events all their lives. Great figures are hard to forget in a lifetime. Those great figures who shine in all directions, they just do things as they come naturally. He glanced at Nin Huayan and asked, Right, master. Nin Huayan looked at him coldly and said, Little Five, you and Big Brother go out first. I have something to say to the masters. Chao Jiao frowned in disbelief, looking at her. Nin Huayan frowned, looking looking at Chao Zhao's back. "What's wrong with little five today?" Chao Zhao coldly asked. "Master, do you really want to bring this skinny devil along? What's he better at than me?" He waved his hand angrily, grabbed Nguyen Hong, and stormed out. "Let's go. Don't bother Master with old stories anymore." The door slammed shut. Nin Huai'an looked bewildered at little five outside. Nguyen Hong, grabbed tightly by Chao Zhao, struggled angrily. "Chao Zhao, how dare you be so disrespectful to Master? Wait until I turn back into a human. I'll definitely teach you a lesson on Master's behalf." Nin Huai'an sighed. 2 hours. The golden core shattered. There's no hope of ascending to heaven. I need someone to continuously transmit spiritual energy to me to survive. These two follow me. Not only do they have no future, but they're also implicated by me. It's better to find a way to send them away. I hope they don't blame a teacher like me. Outside, Nguyen Hong and Chao Zhao angrily argued loudly, neither giving in. Suddenly, Chao Zhao stood up straight, surprised, looking towards Master's room. "So that's what you're afraid of. But Master, I won't leave you." In the room, the Masters kindly fed her medicine. "It's not hot anymore. Drink it." Nin Huai'an smiled awkwardly at him and explained, "Masters, I hope you don't blame little five. He has been by my side for so long. His way of speaking is inevitably a bit rough. Masters, let me drink it myself." The Masters pulled back the medicine bowl firmly and said, "No, please don't refuse me. I just want to do something for you." His face was full of grievance. "I've been weak since childhood and sickly. I'm often scolded by people. Many times I wanted to die. Ha ha ha. Truly useless, can't do anything right. No woman will want to marry you in the future. Ha ha ha, I'm afraid that part doesn't work either. I heard he even likes Nin Huai'an, the sect leader of Linky sect, no less. It's like an ugly toad wanting to eat swan meat. I heard people say Nin Huai'an is a traitor to her sect. It said she had an illicit relationship with her senior brother. That's why she was expelled." Geiju angrily pulled out a small knife from his sleeve and said through gritted teeth, "You can talk about me, but I won't allow you to say that sect leader Ning should go and die." He stabbed the other person's chest forcefully. Blood splattered everywhere. Late at night, it rained heavily with thunder rumbling. The next morning, the sun rose. Geiju sat leaning against a tree, holding the small knife. In front of him were the corpses of those who had mocked and spoken ill of him. "Hey, it's all for you that I continue to live." Late at night, it was pouring rain. His mother knelt on the ground, begging for him. Lianger knows he was wrong. If you want to punish him, let him kneel inside the room. This heavy rain and strong wind will harm his health. Lianger has always been frail. He has had a kind heart since childhood. He wouldn't even dare to harm an ant. "Mother," he angrily shouted, "if you admit you were wrong, you can go inside. Kneel before the ancestral shrine and write rules 100 times as punishment." Geiju knelt on the hard ground, stubbornly refusing to bow his head. "I'm not wrong. I'd rather die than allow anyone to speak ill of Huai'an. Sister Huai'an, whoever wants to harm you must die, Huai'an. Do you know, since I met you at 55, I've lived my entire life only for you." Geiju looked at Ning Huai'an seriously and said, "I've grown accustomed to missing you. Xiaowu is right. If I stubbornly insist on being with you, it will only harm you instead. Love isn't about possession, but about helping each other succeed. My love in the end is just a stage of cultivation for myself. I never even thought I'd be lucky enough for you to know that there's someone in this world foolishly missing you." Ning Huai'an touched his face tenderly, heartbroken. "Not foolish. To have someone so devoted to me, Ning Huai'an, how could I think you're foolish? On the contrary, it's me who has failed your years of waiting." Liangxi, Geiju happily held her hand. "Liangxi has waited half a lifetime, finally hearing you call me Lianger. You call me Sister Huai'an. Why don't you stay at Wusong Sword Sect? I will surely protect you and keep you safe for life." Ning Huai'an laughed and patted his head. "I'm not an ordinary woman either. Why would I need a man's protection? I appreciate your intentions, but I still have things I need to do." Geiju lowered his head dejectedly. "But I really can't bear to let you go right now. Goodbye. I'm afraid sister will forget me." Ning Huai'an picked up the medicine bowl and drank it all. After drinking, she raised her head and placed a kiss on his lips. Ning Huai'an looked at him gently and said, "How could I forget you? Do you think in my heart I'm such an unfeeling person?" Geiju grabbed her wrist and frantically explained, "No, it's not that. Ning Huai'an frowned and asked him, displeased. Geiju looked at her dejectedly and said, "No, I'm just afraid I'm not worthy." Ning Huai'an pulled open his clothes and pushed him down on the bed. "Tomorrow we'll say goodbye. Who knows when we'll meet again. Tonight, let's just remember each other." The cheeks of Geiju turned bright red as he stared at her intently. Ning Huai'an leaned down and looked at him coldly, saying, "You are certainly mine." Suddenly, the world seemed to spin. Geiju turned and pinned her down on the bed. "If that day, the one who had relations with me was another woman, I really don't don't know how I can face sister anymore." After saying that, he leaned down and kissed her lips. "Then please, Sister Hoyan, enjoy me thoroughly." The young master pulled off her shirt. "I hope Sister Hoyan will remember me forever. Sister Hoyan, my body and my heart will always belong to you, but you might not belong only to me." Ning Huayan looked at him and asked why. The young master gently stroked the sole of her foot and said softly, "I am not your final destination, so I'm willing to be the path beneath your feet. Having today is already the greatest blessing. I'm willing to plan and be the sword for you." The young master leaned down and kissed Ning Huayan's foot. Ning Huayan looked at him gently and said, "Be good. Sister will come back to find you later." Late at night, the kitchen was bustling. Chao Dao fell asleep, slumped over the stove. Dongfuang Qi back. The next morning, Wen Huang stood outside the door calling loudly, "Fifth Junior." He went to Chao Dao, who had just woken up, and asked in surprise, "You slept here all night. Didn't you hate the smell of smoke the most?" Chao Dao was stunned. "It's morning already." He panicked and quickly opened the lid to check on the master's breakfast. Chao Dao picked up a piece of pastry. The young master took a small sip of tea and said coldly, "After Miss Huang leaves, close the doors and don't receive any guests. I want to seclude myself to practice swordsmanship. Go and gather all the silver you can and bring it to the front hall for Miss Huang." Although Sister Hoyan is not an ordinary woman, if others were to learn about last night's events, it would still be unfavorable for her. That little disciple frowned and asked the master, "What are you planning to do?" The young master narrowed his eyes and said coldly, "Do as I say." Chao Jiao went to find Ning Huayan. "Master, do you think I'm useless?" Ning Huayan looked at him and asked softly, "What do you mean by that?" Chao Jiao said sadly, "I can't help you with anything. I might as well leave so I won't hold you back." Wen Huang frowned in confusion, looking at him. "What's going on? Has little junior brother been possessed by the 7 emotions?" Chao Jiao, with a pitiful expression, said sadly, "My skills aren't refined enough now. If you don't want to take care of me anymore and want to set off alone, I can understand." Ning Huayan laughed and hugged his arm. "Aya, when did I say I wouldn't take care of you anymore?" Chao Gao replied dejectedly, "I've noticed you've been lost in thought lately, your spirit unstable. You must resent me for not protecting you well enough, so you want to abandon us. Rather than making it difficult for you, I might as well leave on my own." Ning Huayan forced a smile and quickly comforted him. "How could your master resent you for being useless?" "Little fifth, don't overthink it," she thought to herself. How did this boy know? Chao Jiao pretended to look pitiful and turned around. "No, I should still disappear. It's better that way." Ning Huayan panicked and stopped him. "Stand there. If you dare take one more step forward, I'll break your dog legs." "Very well. Wait for me to complete my revenge, and I'll definitely return to see you." After saying this, the 3 of them left. The young master watched their retreating figures intently. Then he glanced at the disciple behind him with cold eyes. "You didn't hear anything just now. If you're not careful, your entire family's lives are at stake." The disciple, frightened, quickly replied, "Yes, young master." Not far away, a figure hiding behind a tree was monitoring their every move, his brow furrowed tightly. The streets were bustling with people coming and going. Chao Gao walked behind, watching Ning Huayan intently. "Master, if only we could always travel like this, it would be great." Not far away, a wedding procession passed by, very lively. Ning Hui, and looked at Chao Gao with a smile and said, "Little fifth, look, someone's getting married today. Let's go down and take a stroll. We might even receive some good fortune." Chao Jiao, with a confused expression, stared at her smile. The original form beside him teased him. "Little fifth, look, someone's getting married today. Let's go down and take a stroll. We might even receive some good fortune." Chao Jiao angrily grabbed him. Ning Huayan laughed, looking at the 2 of them. The wedding procession passed by. A member of the procession holding a basket smiled at the surrounding crowd and said, "Throwing candy here, throwing candy here. See the candy." Wen Huang's eyes lit up. "Wow, candy to eat." Ning Huayan frantically called him back. "Wen Huang, come back here quickly." Wen Huang ran into the wedding procession. Seeing a piece of candy on the ground, he happily approached it. A horse passing by unfortunately stepped on him. Wen Huang coughed up blood. Ning Huayan jumped up and looked at him worriedly. "Wen Huang, are you all right?" The horse neighed loudly in panic. Ning Huayan's face changed. "Not good. I'm about to fall." The sect leader frowned at her. He reached out and wrapped his arm around her waist, pulling her close. Yet, how beautiful it was. Ning Huayan's small face flushed as she looked intently at the sect leader. "The sect leader is so handsome. I wonder whose bride is so fortunate." The sect leader held her and rode away quickly on horseback. Ning Huayan frowned at him. "What are you doing?" The sect leader smiled and replied, taking you home to be my bride. Ning Huayan frowned and glanced at him. Bride? I've never thought about being anyone's bride in my entire life. You've got some nerve. The sect leader smiled at her and said, in this Fengdio city, who dares to touch whom? Miss, don't you feel that you and I are very compatible? A handsome man and a beautiful woman were a match made in heaven. Ning Huayan angrily shouted, handsome man and beautiful woman. You human trafficker, let me go right now. The sect leader leaned close to her ear and whispered, your body doesn't seem to reject me, miss. I beg you to play along with this act. You'll understand the reason soon. Both of Ning Huayan's cheeks turned red. She looked at him coldly and asked, are you testing me? Remember, someone is watching us. The sect leader grabbed her wrist and said, then why don't we take this opportunity to consummate our marriage? Miss, I'll take you home. Ning Huayan glanced at him for a moment, then agreed. Fine, let me see who dares to set their sights on me. The people behind were shocked, their mouths agape as they watched the two leave. Nguyen Huang said frantically, Master, I want to go save Master. Cao Jiao grabbed him and said coldly, no, I'm just a spirit beast. I have no martial arts. You're in this state. There's nothing we can do. Master clearly said there was an arrangement for this situation. Don't know who's the fish, who's the hook. The sect leader raised his finger and lightly touched Ning Huayan's nape. Ning Huayan's entire body stiffened, unable to move. The sect leader smiled and embraced her. Ning Huayan frowned and glanced at him. Wasn't it said to be just an act? The sect leader looked at her seriously and said, if we play all out. Don't you know? Ning Huayan glared at him uncomfortably. You've paralyzed my pressure point, making me unable to move. Do you want to turn this pretense into reality? The sect leader didn't answer, but asked her instead. What do you think? He held her tightly and rode quickly to a large mansion. The sect leader carried her inside. The guards behind stared at him blankly. The sect leader coldly glanced at the crowd. Whoever looks again, I'll gouge out their eyes. Make soup for the young mistress. The subordinates fearfully knelt on the ground. Young sect leader, young mistress, spare our lives. We didn't see anything. The sect leader carried her straight into the room. The subordinates lowered their eyes, not daring to look up. Suddenly, one guard raised his head and glanced at the two. His eyes narrowed, the door slammed shut. The sect leader set her down and said coldly, Miss, you've offended me. That display of affection just now was actually me protecting you. Ning Huayan coldly looked at him, knowing it was real acting. Let's act out another scene. Today, there are only two of us in this room. Tell me, who sent you here? The sect leader narrowed his eyes and looked at her coldly in silence. Ning Huayan let out a laugh. The sect leader's lips curled up. I just didn't expect this. Ning Huayan frowned at him. Didn't expect what? The sect leader walked over and embraced her. You're more vivid than in paintings. Ning Huayan lifted his chin and frowned, saying, Speak. What do you know? Tell me and I might be pleased. Perhaps I could forgive your disrespect. Leave you a way out. The sect leader picked up Ning Huayan, smiling ambiguously. I know quite a lot, but you must reward me a little, miss. Then I'll consider whether to tell you or not. Ning Huayan put her hand on his chest and asked, Aren't you afraid I'll use the kill husband trick? The sect leader smiled at her. Afraid, but you won't have the heart to do it. His hand gripped the bedsheet tightly. Ning Huayan pushed him down on the bed, smiling and asking, Want to try? She forcefully squeezed his neck. His face turned pale, coughing violently. Ning Huayan frowned, thinking to herself, he's a martial artist, yet he's not resisting or running away. What exactly is he planning? Her lips tightened, then she released his neck. I'll spare your life. The sect leader sat up, frowning at her. I thought you were smart enough to know this won't get you anything. He pressed her down on the bed and said coldly, Kill me and you'll know nothing. Ning Huayan raised a finger and said, More importantly, I don't like to trouble handsome and talented men, especially a sect leader with a touch of wickedness like you. She sat up and sighed, but I'm really in a hurry. If there's nothing special, then I can't stay any longer. The sect leader wrapped his arms around her from behind. Don't rush. If you really want to leave, I'll be in big trouble. I've never bullied women before, especially beautiful women. He picked up a book and asked her, Miss, this is what you need, right? Ning Huayan glanced at him and asked, How do you have this secret manual? A cracked golden core can only abandon cultivation and cultivate the Tianyuan secret manual. More importantly, it's also for refining the golden core. Rui sect's Tianyuan secret manual, though from a small sect, is respected by major families. Could he be the young sect leader of Rui sect? The sect leader stood up straight, smiling brightly at her. In short, you just need to sleep with me for one night. After dawn, the secret manual is yours. How about it? Ning Huayan crossed her arms and coldly smiled at him. Sleep with you for one night. Do you know how many people want to spend a night with me? You're thinking too highly of yourself. The sect leader held up the secret manual, smiling and replied, Miss, You might not care about this manual, but please rest assured, it's not what you think. I guarantee I'll only hold you for one night. I absolutely won't do anything else to you. If I do, may I be struck by lightning." Ning Huayan frowned, glancing at him, thinking to herself, so I just need to cooperate with his act, and I can easily get the secret manual. The sect leader looked at her with satisfaction. "This deal won't cost you anything," Ning Huayan said coldly. "If there's no loss, then let's go to sleep." She glanced at him puzzled, thinking, but he's not trying to cheat me or take advantage of me. He doesn't want my body either. How strange. What exactly is he up to? Ning Huayan sat on the bed, frowning at him. "What are you standing there for? Don't you want to cooperate? Quickly blow out the candles and let's go to sleep." The sect leader laughed and nodded. All right. I didn't expect this miss to trust me so much. I certainly cannot let her down." He blew out the candle in the room outside. There was a figure hiding. His eyes narrowed as he looked into the room. Ning Huayan lay on the bed thinking. Come to think of it, sleeping on the same bed with a handsome guy. He can guarantee he won't do anything, but he will guarantee I won't do anything. The two of them lay straight on the bed. The sect leader's brows furrowed slightly. "She smells too good. It's not okay. I can't have wild thoughts. This is just a transaction. I can't let it be dangerous." Ning Huayan suddenly opened her eyes, looked at him and smiled, asking, "Your face. I wonder how many young girls it has deceived." The sect leader opened his eyes and smiled at her. "You flatter me, miss. Your face. Also doesn't know how many heroes and gallants it has enchanted." Ning Huayan hugged his face and asked, "Am I so beautiful? Aren't you moved?" Her hand touched inside his clothes. The sect leader grabbed her wrist, frowning, and said, "Miss, don't move anymore. I won't be able to bear it. I am a gentleman. I won't break today's vow." Ning Huayan disappointedly clicked her tongue and turned her back. "You're so boring." The sect leader smiled and glanced at her back. Ning Huayan lay with her back turned, thinking to herself, if that Tinghuan secret manual is real, using this secret book should be like the Rui sect. It's said that the sect leader, for a peaceful old age, has long not wanted to meddle in Jianghu affairs. What exactly made the young master do this? But unexpectedly, the young sect leader is young and so upright, worthy of a prestigious family, a rare talent. The sect leader on this side clenched his hands tightly, his face uncomfortable. The long night dragged on. Ning Huayan slept soundly, hugging him tightly. The sect leader lay beside her, smiling and watching her intently. She's asleep. So adorable. A secret kiss. She probably won't notice, right? "I'm sorry, I'm a man. I really have no way to resist you." He then leaned down and placed a kiss on her forehead. "I can't have any wild thoughts about you." The sect leader then got off the bed and walked straight out of the bedroom, slamming the door shut. Ning Huayan, who was sleeping on the bed, suddenly sat up. Her brows furrowed tightly. Why can't that secret manual be given to me? Must wait until dawn. The Rui sect. What exactly are they planning? Who set up this scheme? No matter what, sneaking around, hiding things. She searched through her sleeves once. Must be cautious. She then sent a message to Zhou Jiao and Yuan Huang outside. Zhou Jiao frowned. It's a signal from the master on the other side. The sect leader went to a room. Sun Mobai glanced at him and coldly asked, "You're here." The sect leader narrowed his eyes angrily and said, "The mission is completed. Please release my family immediately." Sun Mobai lit the lamp in the room and coldly asked, "Is she all right?" The sect leader coldly replied, "Not just fine. She's also very beautiful. I really didn't expect. She's even more captivating than in the painting, making people unpredictable." Sun Mobai glanced at him warningly. "She's not someone you can touch. You surely won't be foolish enough to disregard the lives of your entire family for her, right?" The sect leader closed his eyes and coldly replied, "Of course not." He opened his eyes and looked at Sun Mobai with determination. "Rest assured, I've done as you instructed. I'm here only to confirm one thing. I want to see my parents safe." Tan Mobach turned his back and said coldly, "I've already told you. I want to see her obtain the secret manual. Only after the exchange will I release the people." The sect leader looked at him angrily. "You were too agitated," causing him to cough up a mouthful of blood. "You are a despicable and shameless person." Tan Mobach waved his hand, throwing hidden weapons towards him. "You should be careful with your words." The hidden weapons grazed past the sect leader. The sect leader let out a cold laugh. "You want me to give her the secret manual, but you're afraid she'll discover your efforts. What exactly are you planning?" Tan Mobach angrily kicked him in the chest. "My affairs are none of your business. If you don't want to die, keep your mouth shut. This is the antidote for today and tomorrow. Once you see her obtain the secret manual, I'll naturally give you the rest. Now take it and get lost." He sat down, holding a small green pill in his hand. "Remember, you need to follow my instructions. Don't think about anything else." The sect leader's face turned pale. "This is," he angrily roared. "You even bully the elderly. You're no better than a wild beast." Tan Mobok narrowed his eyes, his sharp gaze fixed on the sect leader. Oh, people often call me that. Thank you for the compliment. Late at night, the door to the room was pushed open. The sect leader entered. He walked to the bedside, looking at the sleeping Ning Huai'an. His clothes were covered in blood. I can't let her discover this. He turned around and began to remove his blood-stained clothes. I need to change quickly. Ning Huai'an, lying on the bed, opened her eyes and glanced at the sect leader changing his bloody clothes. Late at night, the sect leader and Ning Huai'an were sleeping soundly in bed. After the sect leader fell asleep, Ning Huai'an slightly opened her eyes to observe him. Ah, this little brother is truly handsome. If I weren't on a mission, I'd really want to fall in love with him before leaving. She propped herself up and stretched. There are so many handsome men in the world, yet I never noticed before. It's truly a shame. A flame burned in her eyes. Ning Huai'an stood up and got out of bed. The sect leader, lying on the bed, slightly opened his eyes. If only this wasn't just a transaction, how wonderful it would be. He sat up straight. Ning Huai'an leaned down and gently touched the tip of his nose. You really didn't touch me at all. She spread her legs and pretended to ask, oh, what's this? The sect leader jumped up embarrassed. Ah, don't look there. He pulled his legs back and sighed. All right, the night is over. Now let me help you restore your primordial energy. Ning Huai'an covered her mouth and chuckled. She gently touched his chin and smiled, saying, there's no need to restore the primordial energy. But why don't you tell me what your difficult situation is? Perhaps I can help you. The sect leader held her hand and glanced at her, saying, Miss, there's no need to be polite. I said I would help you, so I will help you. I must apologize to you in advance. He took out a red cloth and covered his face. Suddenly, a hand reached out and sprinkled some fragrant powder into the room. Ning Huai'an accidentally inhaled it, and her whole body suddenly stiffened. Soul-confusing fragrance. Why is it him? Could it be that this entire journey was designed by Old Four? That rotten brat Ming. I must find him and get to the bottom of this. She collapsed, supporting herself. The sect leader caught her in his arms. Ning Huai'an laughed coldly and looked at him angrily. Little brother, if you want to do something, you can just say it directly. Why use this kind of tactic? While he wasn't paying attention, she released a paper crane that flew around and landed on Zhou Zhao's fingertip. Zhou Zhao unfolded the paper. Let's begin, Yuan Huang said happily upon seeing this. Great, we've finally received the signal from Master. Zhou Zhao narrowed his eyes, his gaze turning cold. Let's go find his family members. I don't believe we can uncover the truth about the sect leader's mansion. Two guards looked at Zhou Zhao and asked, Ah Wen, Ah Wu, last night you said you'd only stand in for us for a while. Why are you only returning now? Zhou Zhao smiled and raised a wine jug. We're leaving now. We're leaving now. We drank a bit too much, you see. Brought some back for you, brother. Don't tell the sect leader, all right? Should we go to the secret chamber for the shift change? He handed the wine jug to the other guard. The other guard happily reached out to take it. It's over on the west side. You go over there, you stinky brat. Every time you drink a bit of wine, you can't tell east from west anymore. He excitedly hugged the wine jug, his face full of adoration. Zhou Zhao smiled and said, Thank you. Seeing the two guards so entranced, Zhou Zhao looked at Yuan Huang and praised him. Senior brother, your enchanting eyes technique is getting more and more powerful. We were lucky to have you this time. Yuan Huang laughed smugly. Hey, this is the ultimate self-defense technique Master taught me. His hand lightly touched Zhou Zhao's chest. Yuan Huang's eyes lit up. Ning Huai'an lifted his chin and said coldly, How ridiculous. I, Ning Huai'an, have never been afraid. If you don't speak clearly, don't even think about driving me away. The sect leader lowered his eyes and said softly, It's because my abilities are insufficient. I'll bear the consequences of my actions. If I can't refine the golden pill, then you should leave first. I'll shoulder everything. Ning Huai'an put on her clothes and laughed. Ouyang, thank you for your protection, but underestimating women will come at a high price. The sect leader put his clothes back on neatly. He glanced at her. Ning Huai'an turned to look at him and asked, Do you know who the most powerful person on this continent is? She leaned close to his ear and teased, Come in. She stood up straight and ordered those outside. The door opened. The sect leader's parents entered, looking at him happily. Jingji, the sect leader looked at them worriedly and asked in surprise, Father, Mother, are you both all right? The sect leader's mother took his hand and said softly, We're fine, Jingji. You're not hurt, are you? Let me take a look. The sect leader glanced at Ning Huai'an and asked, What's going on? The sect leader's mother pointed at Zhou Zhao and smiled, saying, Fortunately, thanks to this young hero. Ning Huai'an scoffed and said coldly, I knew something was off early on. Luckily, these two disciples of mine are highly capable. They were able to save you too. Things have come to this point. Are you still not going to tell the truth? Considering you have some looks, I'll forgive you. I'll let you off." The sect leader frowned and glanced at her. This woman was indeed not simple. He looked up at his parents and said, "Father, Mother, please step out for a moment. I have some matters to discuss with this lady." Ning Huayan looked at Zhou Jiao and Yuan Huang and said softly, "Xiao Wu, you two step out first as well." Zhou Jiao wanted to say something but held back. Yes, Xiao Wu understands. He then embraced Yuan Huang and left. After everyone had left, Ning Huayan glanced at the sect leader. The sect leader looked at her coldly and said, Miss, your guess is correct. This was indeed a trap set by someone." Ning Huayan raised her hand to interrupt him. "Wait a moment." She helplessly looked at the figures eavesdropping outside. Zhou Jiao frowned and asked softly, "What on earth are they talking about? So mysterious." Yuan Huang tried to prick up his ears to listen. "Don't rush. Let me make a peephole first." Zhou Yuan looked at him suspiciously and asked, "Senior brother, is this okay?" Inside the room, the corner of the sect leader's mouth twitched as he looked at the two acting like clowns outside. Ning Huayan helplessly rubbed her forehead. She opened the door and angrily roared, "When did you learn this trick?" Zhou Jiao and Yuan Huang, frightened and dejected, turned to leave. Back in the room, Ning Huayan sighed. "Sect leader, please continue." The sect leader rubbed his chin, thought for a moment, and spoke. "I'm afraid you've offended some people who shouldn't be offended. The man in black who threatened me has superior martial arts. I, the dignified sect leader of Rui sect, was no match for him. I could only follow his orders. However, this person doesn't seem to want to harm you." He recalled the scene from that day. His father was controlled by that person. "If you want to live, do as I say. Take the Tianyuan secret manual and give it to the lady in this painting." He handed the painting of Ning Huayan to the sect leader. The sect leader's expression darkened as he coldly looked at the person in the painting. Everyone in the world knows the Heavenly Origin secret manual that can cultivate the golden elixir is a treasure that represents our Rui sect's standing in the world. It has never been passed on to outsiders. If other sects were to find out about it, everyone would come to fight over our Rui sect. From then on, we would no longer have peaceful days. Unless the masked man coldly looked at him and asked, "Unless what?" The sect leader angrily roared, "Unless this person is my wife." The man in black angrily shouted, "Keep dreaming." The sect leader closed his eyes and said coldly, "If today I'm forced into this situation, then our Rui sect can no longer be at peace anyway. Might as well just—" The man in black pointed his sword at his father's throat with one hand and grabbed his mother's hair with the other, saying coldly, "I allow you to marry her, to save some face for your Rui sect in front of the world. But remember, this is just an act. Don't you dare touch a single hair on her head. Otherwise, you'll never see your parents again." The sect leader's hand clenched tightly as he looked at him angrily. That's how it happened. He looked at the painting of Ning Huayan in his hand and sighed. Ning Huayan glanced at him and asked, "So you were very unwilling to marry me because that person tricked you. But unexpectedly, I turned out to be a great beauty." The sect leader forced a smile and looked at her. "That's not the main point of the story." Ning Huayan rested her chin on her hand, frowning in thought. "This person has high martial arts skills and always pays attention to my situation. He even knows about my cracked golden elixir. Fourth brother has always been physically weak. It's not fourth brother's specialty in swordsmanship. Instead, it's more like second brother's style. But why would he do such sneaky things?" She narrowed her eyes, a cold smile appearing at the corner of her mouth. "I really want to see who it is. In this world, there's no one Ning Huayan can't handle." As soon as she finished speaking, Ning Huayan suddenly realized. She quickly covered her mouth. "Damn it, why did I say that out loud?" The sect leader, hearing this, looked at her with surprised, bright eyes. "So you are actually the sect leader of Lingxi sect, Ning Huayan. No wonder you have such a beautiful appearance." Ning Huayan put her hand on his mouth. "Don't let others know about this." The sect leader stepped back and looked at her suspiciously, asking, "But I heard that sect leader Ning isn't." Ning Huayan leaned back and sighed. "Alas, it's a long story. Just pretend you didn't hear anything just now." The sect leader's face suddenly turned pale. He clutched his chest and spat out a mouthful of blood. Ning Huayan stood up abruptly, looking at him with concern. "What's wrong with you?" The sect leader looked at his hand, frowning, and said, "The poison I'm currently under will prevent me from using my inner power. If I use my spiritual energy, I'll suffer damage. I must take medicine at the right time every day to detoxify. Apart from using the medicine given by that man in black, there's no other way." He looked up at her with a smile. "It's all right. I know I don't have much time left. You should leave quickly. This place is very dangerous." Ning Huayan frowned at him. It's fine. I have a way to neutralize this poison. The sect leader was stunned. You have a way. Ning Huayan sighed. It's just that I need to remove your clothes first. As she spoke, she began to remove his clothes. The sect leader's face turned red as he looked at her in shock. Whoa. He fearfully hugged his chest. What are you doing? This isn't right, Ning Huayan looked at her prey like a lustful wolf. Be good. Sometimes it's okay to rely on a woman a little. A moment later, the two sat on the bed. Ning Huayan helped the sect leader detoxify. A moment later, Ning Huayan slowly opened her eyes. It's done. She opened her eyes wide and stared at the perfect body in front of her. For the first time, she could openly look at his body like this. These chest muscles, these abs, they're not bad at all. Ning Huayan helped him, who was unconscious, lie down on the bed. You've been through a lot lately. Be good and rest for a while. After an unknown amount of time, the sect leader lying on the bed slowly opened his eyes. He propped himself up, his brows furrowed in confusion. Why did I fall asleep last night? He glanced at Ning Huayan dozing off beside him, the corner of his mouth slightly curling up. Thank you outside. Tan Mobok stood leaning against the door with folded arms, silently listening to the conversation inside. Ning Huayan's voice rang out. Try to circulate your energy and feel if the poison in your body is still moving. The sect leader's voice was full of surprise. It seems there's nothing to worry about anymore. Could it be that my poison has been cured? You saved my parents, and now you've cured my poison. This life-saving grace, I don't know how to repay it. We couldn't catch up. We only found this. Ning Huayan narrowed her eyes. A servant hiding in Ruyi sect. She glanced at the two and spoke coldly. I suspect the one threatening the sect leader's family is Mo Bai. Yuan Huang now understood, so that's how it is. No wonder the methods seemed so familiar. Ning Huayan hugged Yuan Huang, then looked at Zhou Dao and ordered, Xiao Wu, you follow and see what happens. Zhou Dao quickly replied, yes, understood. At the market, Zhou Dao followed Tan Mo Bai's figure closely. He slightly pulled out a fan from his sleeve. The shop owner nearby looked at him and invited, young master, buy a kite for your sweetheart. Zhou Dao coldly replied, no need. He looked up, glancing around, bewildered. Damn it, Mo Bai got away. Then Tan Mo Bai, hiding in a corner, glanced at him. Stinky brat, is that how you call Mo Bai? Over here. Ning Huayan sat on the bed, anxiously asking, it's been so long. Why hasn't Xiao Wu returned yet? Yuan Huang, lying on the bed, looked at her and comforted. Master, don't worry. Mo Bai won't do anything to Xiao Wu. With a rose in his mouth, he lay provocatively, looking at her and said, I invite you to take a nap with me. Ning Huayan laughed and stroked his hair. Little Yuan Huang, you're getting cuter by the day. Yuan Huang smiled widely. So comfortable. At this moment, Zhou Dao entered and said, Master, I'm back. Ning Huayan looked at him and quickly asked, Xiao Wu, how's the situation? Zhou Dao, embarrassed, answered softly, it was indeed Mo Bai, but I carelessly lost track of him. Ning Huayan frowned and said, it seems Mo Bai has been following us the entire journey. He knows what I look like when transformed. He gave the painting of my transformed self to the sect leader. But this transformation elixir is from Lao Si. We must find Lao Si and get to the bottom of this. I'll go say goodbye to the sect leader. Early tomorrow morning, we'll set off. Late at night, the sect leader sat in his room, looking at Ning Huayan's portrait. Suddenly, the door was slightly opened. The sect leader cautiously asked, who's there? Ning Huayan stood in the doorway, smiling at him. It's me. She smiled awkwardly, embarrassed, and quickly explained, I'm sorry. I have urgent matters. We'll leave early tomorrow morning. I came to say goodbye. The sect leader asked in surprise, so soon? I originally wanted to. Ning Huayan leaned close to his face and asked, wanted what? The sect leader smiled and said, you are my life-saving benefactor. If you've made up your mind, I shouldn't have any improper thoughts about you. Having the chance to be your husband for a day, I'm already satisfied. Ning Huayan looked at him disappointedly and asked, are all of you in Ruyi sect such gentlemen? The sect leader sighed softly. Yes and no, but when it comes to you, if I can't have you, I still want to leave a good impression. He gently held her shoulders and said, all right, don't be angry anymore. Ning Huayan was silent for a moment, then glanced at him and said, if that's the case, then I'll take my leave here. Sect leader, please take care. After she left, the sect leader sat back down, looking dejected. Ah, such a good woman. You must endure. Don't go out and chase after her. Let her go. She has her own path. Hearing a noise outside, the sect leader was startled. She came back. Ning Huayan opened the door, looking at him with an ambiguous smile. Two things. First, in this life, I've never believed in so-called gentlemen. You've really made me change my perspective. Second, the so-called one day as husband and wife on the day of gratitude. If we've had a day in name as husband and wife, then let's do something legal. After saying that, she went to place a kiss on his lips. She removed the clothes from his body. The sect leader's eyes flashed as he looked at her. Miss, then I won't be polite anymore. Ning Huayan laughed and looked at him. Be polite. I hope you won't be polite anymore. The two bodies, with only a piece of cloth, intertwined. Her hand rested on his shoulder. Ning Huayan pressed him down onto the bed. The sect leader looked at her with an intoxicated expression. The next morning, Ning Huayan looked at the sect leader and said, "Then we'll take our leave first." The sect leader looked at her gently and said, "I will announce to the world, the position of Madam of the Ruyi sect leader is reserved for Miss Huang Ji. No matter when you return, I will wait for you." Ning Huayan leaned close to his face and said, "Don't think doing this will move me." The sect leader looked at her with a serious gaze. "My mind is made up, miss. You don't need to worry." Ning Huayan turned and left with her two disciples. The Jianghu farewell lasted from early morning till dusk. The three of them walked through the forest. Yuan Huang walked ahead with wobbly legs. Ning Huayan looked at Chao Jiao behind and said, "Little Five, let's rest for a while before continuing." Yuan Huang, tired, quickly agreed. That's right. Chao Jiao looked up at the gloomy sky ahead, frowning. He said, "Looking at the sky, I'm afraid it will rain heavily soon. We shouldn't stop for too long." Yuan Huang carelessly said, "What's there to worry about? Finding a place to take shelter isn't difficult, is it?" After saying that, he jumped up high. Seeing an abandoned temple not far away, he said, "Quick, look, there's a temple ahead." The three of them went to the abandoned temple. It was dilapidated inside. Ning Huayan covered her nose and sneezed. Chao Jiao went in and cleaned up the scattered wood on the ground. "Let's start a fire first." He flicked his fingers, and a pile of firewood burst into flames. The three sat around the fire to warm up. Suddenly, Chao Jiao narrowed his eyes. Yuan Huang, in Ning Huayan's heart, laughed awkwardly. "Sorry, it was my stomach making noise." Chao Jiao looked at him with annoyance. "You're really troublesome." A pair of worn-out shoes stepped in. Ning Huayan and Chao Jiao glanced outside. A young girl supporting her pitiful younger brother said, "I'm so sorry. Sister, can we come in to hide for a while? My brother is injured." Ning Huayan's eyes brightened as she looked at that young man. My goodness, he was a beautiful young man. She stood up quickly and said, "What happened? Sit down and tell us." That young woman looked at her with pitiful tears. "My brother and I live relying on each other in the village at the foot of the mountain. There's an evil tyrant in the village who forced me to marry him. Get out of here, you little devil." The tyrant kicked the young man, making him fall to the ground. I refused, so he got angry and beat my brother. To save me, my brother endured the pain and bit him, injuring him. Then he pulled me, and we ran away. The young man pulled his sister's hand. "Run quickly." The tyrant angrily shouted, "Chase after them and burn down their house. Let's see where they can go after this." That tyrant held a grudge and burned down our house. Now I don't know what to do anymore. At this moment, the temple door was kicked open forcefully. The tyrant looked at the two siblings and laughed wickedly. "You dare to seek help. Why didn't you find someone more reliable? You found a little beauty, huh? My brothers and I will enjoy ourselves later." Ning Huayan stood in front of the two siblings, frowning as she looked at the tyrant. "What era is this? How can there still be forced abduction of women? If you like someone, why don't you pursue them properly? But that's also true. You people are too ugly. Even if you wanted to, you couldn't pursue anyone." The villain gritted his teeth in anger and looked at her. "What did you say?" Before she could say anything, Chu Jiao stepped forward and spoke coldly. "Master, don't dirty your hands." As soon as he finished speaking, Yuan Huang stepped forward and said, "Let me. I hate those who bully women the most in my life." His eyes flashed. The villain and his henchmen behind him clutched their heads, their faces full of pain. "What's going on? What kind of technique is this? Don't think I'll be afraid of you." The henchman behind him froze in place. He picked up a wooden stick and hit the villain hard in the face. The villain gritted his teeth in anger. "What's going on?" Yuan Huang smiled mischievously as he watched the two fight like dogs. "Master, look at them, looking so stupid yet daring to bully others." Chu Jiao smiled with satisfaction and praised him. "Senior brother, well done. Unless father tells you stories about mother again." Hearing this, the emperor gently said, "Your mother was very beautiful. She was the most beautiful woman father had ever met." Ning Huayan's eyes lit up. "Really?" The emperor smiled at her affectionately. "Has father ever lied to you? When Huayan grows up, she'll be as beautiful as her mother. Last time you made a fuss about wanting a pet. Father promised you, and now look, a small cat in a cage is being brought up." Ning Huayan's eyes lit up. "Oh, that's great. What's its name?" The emperor looked at the small cat, thought for a moment and said, How about calling it Yuan Huang?" Ning Huayan looked at the cat in the small cage and said softly, "But father, it looks very ugly. I don't like it." Yuan Huang angrily puffed up its fur and looked at her, saying, "Who's ugly?" Ning Huayan grabbed the emperor's robe, frowning and said, "Father, It's being mean to me. I want to hit it. The emperor chuckled and looked at her gently. Huayan, don't judge by appearances. Take good care of it. It will always be by your side. Ning Huayan glanced at it. I don't believe it. After that, Yuan Huang lived with me for years. We played and read books together. Then we contemplated the winter scenery with snow-capped views. Until that year, the maid standing behind was combing Ning Huayan's hair, praising her profusely. It's just like what the emperor said. The princess is becoming more beautiful every day. I heard that several princes from other countries want to marry our princess. Ning Huayan gently stroked Yuan Huang in her arms and said softly, I won't marry anyone who wants to take me far away. I just want to be by father's side forever. Yuan Huang opened its eyes, enjoying her caress. I will also be by your side forever. In the main hall, attending to His Majesty, foreign envoys approached and bowed respectfully. An exquisite jade vase was presented, a delicate gold-plated box, a pair of gold bracelets. One by one, treasures were offered. The emperor sat high, coldly saying, You may rise. The envoy respectfully said, Your Majesty, our two countries have been at war for many years. The conflict has been ongoing. The new emperor of Great Jin has sent me here to discuss reconciliation. The emperor glanced at the pile of treasures and asked, Reconciliation isn't achieved with these treasures, is it? The envoy presented a painting and respectfully replied, Of course not. These are just meeting gifts. The real offering is depicted in this painting. This painting shows the disputed areas between our countries. If Your Majesty agrees to Great Jin's conditions, our army will agree to withdraw immediately and cede 5 prefectures. The emperor frowned and asked, What are your country's conditions? The envoy narrowed his eyes and coldly said, A marriage alliance. The emperor angrily pressed his lips together. How dare they set their sights on Huayan? He looked at the envoy with cold eyes. Do you think I would bear to marry off my only daughter to such a distant place for a marriage alliance? The envoy looked straight into his eyes and said coldly, This is also for the peace between our two countries. We hope Your Majesty will prioritize the greater good. The emperor angrily roared, Tell your new emperor to give up hope. Our country doesn't need to trade conditions for peace. The national flag was raised, and soldiers stood in formation. Ning Huayan came to find the emperor. The emperor, donning his armor, coldly said, You will protect the princess. The rest, follow me to charge. Ning Huayan watched his back with a heavy heart, father. The battlefield was a river of blood. Ning Huayan embraced the severely wounded emperor. Sobbing, Father, please hold on a little longer. I'll call for the royal physician right away. The emperor looked at her weakly and said, Huayan, your father is not going to make it. You must take Nguyen Huang and flee far away. He will protect you in my place. He closed his eyes and ordered the guards, quickly take the princess away. Ning Huayan was pulled away by the palace maids. She cried out in anguish, No, father, I don't want to leave you. A worried maid quickly said to her, Princess, if we don't leave now, it will be too late. Ning Huayan quickly ran away. The soldiers behind her relentlessly pursued her with their spears. The remaining guards tried their best to protect her. Seeing a soldier raise his sword to strike at Ning Huayan, Nguyen Huang's eyes contracted. A powerful beam of light formed a protective barrier around her. The soldier's sword instantly broke in half. Nguyen Huang transformed into human form to protect Ning Huayan, saying, Don't be afraid, I'm here. Ning Huayan looked at him in bewilderment. Nguyen Huang squinted and urged her, Hurry and go. This is my first time using my powers. I'm afraid I can't hold on for long. Ning Huayan looked at him worriedly. But I can't leave alone. Without saying a word, Nguyen Huang used his power to send Ning Huayan away. I told you to leave quickly. Ning Huayan burst into tears, looking at him painfully. I won't go. Nguyen Huang used all his strength to hold back the soldiers. The protective barrier began to crack. Ning Huayan looked at him silently, worried. The barrier was shattered by swords. Nguyen Huang, severely wounded, fell backwards. He transformed back into a cat and fell down the steep cliff. The soldiers, seeing him fall, coldly remarked, That's a cliff. He's surely dead falling from there. Ning Huayan's face changed color, tears streaming down. The leader glanced at his subordinates and said, Let's go. It hurts too much. The next day, a long rope was thrown down the cliff. Ning Huayan climbed down, her hands bleeding from the effort. She frowned. There was a cave overlooking the deep abyss below. Ning Huayan carefully climbed down, following the blood trail. Nguyen Huang. She rushed towards the cave. Seeing Nguyen Huang transformed into human form, severely injured lying on the ground, she called out anxiously, Nguyen Huang, Nguyen Huang, Nguyen Huang. Ning Huayan anxiously called for Nguyen Huang. Nguyen Huang slowly opened his eyes, frowning tightly as he regained consciousness. Seeing Nguyen Huang open his eyes, Ning Huai-an looked at him with a pained expression. Nguyen Huang. She threw herself at him, hugging him tightly. Thank goodness you've finally woken up. You're safe. That's all that matters. She quickly let go of him and said worriedly, let me see how your wounds are. Nguyen Huang grabbed her wrist and smiled, saying, Huai-an, you shouldn't be so intimate with a man. Ning Huai-an flicked his forehead. You're not human. Nguyen Huang frowned slightly and looked at her silently. He turned away dejectedly. That's right. I'm just a pet. Ning Huai-an sighed and said, don't talk nonsense. Let me see if your wounds are still serious. How can you transform into a human? She pulled open his clothes. Nguyen Huang let out a sigh. Your father and I originally wanted to give you a surprise. We didn't expect it to be revealed so quickly. Huai-an, I am an ancient divine beast, one of a kind in this world, a unique divine beast. You must cherish me, understand? Ning Huai-an stared at him in shock. A divine beast? I've never heard of such a thing. Nguyen Huang looked at her coldly and said, your father protects you too well. He hurriedly put his clothes back on. My current appearance, if we encounter enemy troops, it would be dangerous. Let's hide in the mountain cave to rest first. Nin Huaiyan brought some water to feed him. Come here and drink some water. Seeing him staring at her intently, she curiously asked, why are you looking at me? Nguyen Huang crossed his arms and looked at her with a smirk. Are you that beautiful? Although I've never seen your mother, I guess you look like what your father said. You must be as beautiful as your mother. Nin Huaiyan frowned and looked at him in surprise. How do you know those words from long ago when my father said them? So before, when I joked with the maids, you heard everything. Nguyen Huang rubbed his chin and nodded, saying, To survive, I'm not afraid of any hardship. A powerful sword strike flew across the mountain behind. Nin Huaiyan practiced tirelessly. Nguyen Huang sat beside her, glancing at her. Indeed, I didn't misjudge her. She has a natural talent. 3 months later, watching Nin Huaiyan sitting cross-legged in cultivation, he couldn't help but sigh. In less than 3 months, she has mastered the basics. I must quickly come to an agreement with her. While Nin Huaiyan was engrossed in practice, she suddenly heard voices talking. Master, little junior sister is progressing rapidly. I fear in less than half a year, she'll surpass senior brother. Nin Huaiyan paused her movements and glanced at the master, who stroked his beard and said to that disciple, You don't need to feel sad. Huaiyan has a naturally gifted body. Her cultivation talent is unlike others. The lone wolf was shocked to hear this. A naturally gifted body. Does that mean if one dual cultivates with her, their cultivation will increase exponentially? The master nodded at him and said, That's right. The new emperor of Great Jin wanted to take her, but her father didn't agree. This is also one of the reasons that led to the downfall of the Tianlai kingdom. If Huaiyan doesn't want to reveal her identity, then you shouldn't say much either. Let her live happily here. Nin Huaiyan cursed Nguyen Huang in her heart. The corners of her mouth curled into a slight smile. Only now did she understand everything. So it was all because of me. Nin Huaiyan looked up at the sky, her eyes becoming determined. Father, I will definitely cultivate well to avenge you. My enlightenment was very high. The master accepted me as a disciple and even loved me, but I was often exhausted. From then on, I practiced day and night without rest, becoming stronger and stronger, until no one dared to bully me anymore. Back to reality. Nin Huaiyan and Nguyen Huang sat in front of the fire. She smiled and patted Nguyen Huang's head. Nguyen Huang looked at her with curiosity. What does Master want to do? Master isn't remembering that time again, is she? If I hadn't met Master, I'm afraid I'd be like my 2 sisters, bullied by others. Back then, I left the clan on my own and fell into a hunter's trap. The hunter took me to his shop. At that time, I had no strength to resist, only weak abilities. In my moment of despair, I discovered the royal family surrounded by purple smoke, so I deliberately attracted his attention. It was an ancient divine beast. Hearing this, Nguyen Huang's eyes lit up as he looked at him. The master looked at the emperor and suggested, Buy it as a gift for Huaiyan. I thought the emperor recognized me as a divine beast and would surely keep me. Unexpectedly, he gave me to little Huaiyan instead. Little Huaiyan looked at him apologetically. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said you were ugly. Nguyen Huang proudly raised his head, ignoring her. Nguyen Huang pinched his cheeks and said cheerfully, I'll make you up. Guarantee you'll look beautiful. She thought I was just a pet and cared for me. I declared from that day on, you are my best friend. But she didn't know. Being with her, the bloodline in my body increased very quickly. I knew all her joys, anger, love, and hatred. My emotions were the same as hers, until one day, Nin Huaiyan looked at him and asked, Nguyen Huang, do you miss your free life from before? Nguyen Huang looked at her seriously and nodded. Mao Mao. Seeing this, Ning Huaiyan smiled even more cheerfully. Right, you think so too, don't you? I agree with you. When there's a chance, I'll take you out for some fresh air. At this moment, the palace maid brought up the food and said respectfully to her, Princess, you should have your meal now. Ning Huayan waved her hand and replied, I know, just put it there. One palace maid curiously asked, why is the princess talking to herself? The other palace maid frowned and said, she's talking to her pet. The first palace maid furrowed her brows. She's not going crazy, is she? Nguyen Huang saw these two palace maids whispering and bad-mouthing Ning Huayan, so he frowned angrily. How dare they insult little Huayan, Mao Mao. He immediately rushed down and bit the two of them hard. Loud screams rang out. Ah! Nguyen Huang growled angrily, glaring at them. The palace maids lay sprawled on the ground, fearfully begging the princess for mercy. We won't dare do it again. Ning Huayan glanced at them with sharp eyes. Without my permission, it won't harm anyone. Even wild beasts have feelings. They won't badmouth their master behind their back. You may leave now. The group of palace maids fearfully replied, understood. I thought we would always have carefree days, until one day when enemy forces attacked. His Majesty put on his armor and looked at him seriously, saying, I know you're a divine beast. You can understand what I'm saying. When I first brought you to Huayan's side, I had my own calculations. I hope that in the future, you can protect Huayan. Huayan relies on you. He clasped his hands and entrusted Ning Huayan to him. His Majesty entrusted Huayan to me. Under the pursuit of enemy forces, we fled to the outside. The guards kept falling one after another. Danger was all around. When he saw Ning Huayan in danger, his eyes narrowed. No way, I must protect Huayan. He immediately transformed into human form and stood in front to protect her. Don't be afraid, I'm here. Ning Huayan looked at him in surprise and bewilderment. Nguyen Huang looked at Ning Huayan and urgently prompted Huayan for her safety. You go first. When the barrier cracked and couldn't resist anymore, he was severely injured and retreated, then unfortunately fell into a deep cliff. To escape the enemy forces, I hid in a mountain cave. I didn't care about my wounds, as long as Huayan could leave safely, but I didn't expect Huayan to disregard the danger and come back to find me. If she hadn't found me this time, I'm afraid I would have been in danger. Then when I woke up, Huayan had already finished cultivating and was very strong. She no longer needed others to protect her. That's good too. She won't get hurt anymore. Ning Huayan rubbed Nguyen Huang's head hard. The young lady lying beside frowned, her mouth constantly mumbling, Don't come here. Don't come here. Ning Huayan went to her side and gently stroked her head to comfort her. Initially, when I established Ling Chi sect, it was to protect weak women, so they could start anew. It's a pity that now Ling Chi sect is also gone. We must quickly repair the golden core to revive Ling Chi sect as soon as possible. Now I no longer have the ability to protect them. Ning Huayan opened the secret manual to read. Nguyen Huang looked at her and comforted. Master, don't put pressure on yourself. We have other options. Ning Huayan frowned and nodded. I have my own plans. Nguyen Huang looked at her with a pained expression. I know Huayan will definitely not remain passive. She will quickly become strong. Restore Ling Chi sect and protect these women. I can't do anything to help her, but at least I can stay with her until the next morning. Ning Huayan stretched and said, Let's go. It's time to depart. She turned her head to look at the two sisters behind her and smiled, saying, I will take you to a safe place where you can live peacefully. Daoyuan dim sum. Exquisite dim sum dishes were laid out on the table. Ning Huayan looked at the two sisters and instructed, I've bought this shop. You and your brother must run it well. She handed them a small bag of money. With this additional money, it should be enough for you and your brother to live comfortably. You must persevere and keep living. Understand. The two sisters' eyes lit up as they hugged her, their faces full of gratitude. Sister, we don't want to leave you. Ning Huayan smiled at the two of them. We'll meet again in the future, after I rebuild the Ling Chi sect's Medicine Saint residence. Chao Jiao looked at the Medicine Saint residence in front of them and frowned, saying, Master, we've arrived. Look, there's a crowd gathered at the gate. Ning Huayan became alert and said, Wait, the mountain gate seems strange. Let's observe first. Outside the mountain gate, angry shouts could be heard. Li Wenshu, you've harmed our senior brother to this state. You must give us an explanation. Come out now. That's right, come out. Ning Huayan approached and asked a young Taoist in front of her, May I ask what's happening here? The leader of the group of Taoists turned around, glancing at her with a fierce look in his eyes. Who are you? Mind your own business. Ning Huayan looked at him and let out an "Oh, don't misunderstand. We're also here to settle scores with Li Wenshu." A young Taoist beside him, supporting an injured person, looked at her and said softly, "A few days ago, our senior brother was poisoned by a strange substance. We heard that the Medicine Saint residence was famous, so we came here seeking an antidote. Unexpectedly, after taking the medicine given by Li Wenshu, not only did his condition not improve, it actually got worse. Ning Huayan lowered her eyes and said coldly, "Indeed, vicious and cruel. But this seems more like something the fourth elder would do. After all, he even dared to poison me. I just don't understand why he has fallen so low." At this moment, a disciple of the Medicine Saint residence came out and smiled at everyone, asking, "What brings you all to the Medicine Saint residence?" An angry Taoist grabbed the disciple's collar and roared furiously, "Stop pretending, you medicine cultivators. None of you are any good. You act like weak scholars on the outside, but in reality, you're all evil-hearted." The Medicine Saint residence disciple smiled nervously, trying to calm him down. "Please calm down. Could you release me first?" Ning Huayan, seeing the Taoist bullying the weaker one, gritted her teeth in anger. "You coward! If you want revenge, go directly to Li Wenshu. Bullying the gatekeeper is hardly a display of skill." The Taoist, hearing her insult him like that, became enraged. "What did you say? How dare you insult me? What are you all waiting for? Attack!" The Taoists behind him, hearing the order, quickly drew their swords and charged towards her. Cao Jiao rushed forward to stand in front of Ning Huayan, his eyes cold. "Senior brother, let me handle this." He conjured a sword and slashed forward. A powerful gust of wind swept in, striking those Taoist priests so hard they coughed up blood. Their teeth fell out as they struggled to fall to the ground. The leader was furious. The Medicine Saint's disciple stepped aside and angrily looked at the three people of Ning Huayan's group. "You and the Medicine Saint are of the same sect, aren't you? We'll let you off this time. Let's go." The Medicine Saint's disciple was rescued from that Taoist priest. He patted his chest a few times and gratefully said, "Thank you, Miss and Senior brothers, for your help." Another Medicine Saint's disciple beside him looked at the three and asked, "Right, miss, you've also come to see my master, haven't you?" Ning Huayan and her two disciples entered the room. Seeing the person in the room was an old man with white hair, Cao Jiao coldly asked, "Why is there an old man here? Where's little Four? Could it be that he has run away?" Ning Huayan looked at the old man and asked, "May I ask if you are the head of the Medicine Saint sect?" The old man stroked his beard and coughed twice. "That's right. No, I'm not. I'm a guest of Medicine Saint Li Wenshu. I'm also here to find the sect leader." Ning Huayan crossed her arms and glanced at him with sharp, suspicious eyes. "Oh, is that so? Then may I ask if you know where the sect leader has gone?" The old man covered his face, not daring to meet her gaze, and weakly replied, "I heard he went out to gather herbs. Don't know when he'll be back." Hearing this, Ning Huayan sat down straight in her chair. "If that's the case, then let's sit and wait together. We won't leave until the sect leader arrives." The old man was shocked to hear this. "Huh, really?" Cao Jiao approached and whispered in her ear, "Ancestor, if the sect leader is really fourth senior brother as usual, I don't feel comfortable using someone else's poison, so I followed the arrangements of the two senior brothers." When Sun Mobai first said that, Li Wenshu angrily grabbed his collar. "Despicable and shameless. I can't believe you don't care about Master's life. Not only did you tell me to poison him, but you also tampered with the formation." Sun Mobai removed his hand and sighed. "Calm down a bit. The formation issue wasn't my doing. I knew nothing about it." Li Wenshu gritted his teeth and asked him, "What exactly do you want to do?" Sun Mobai grabbed his shoulders and calmly explained to him, "Don't be so upset. What Master needs now is the life-saving elixir. The urgent matter now is for you to quickly go and refine the medicine. Even if you don't trust me, there's still Big Senior Brother and Fifth Junior Brother to protect him. Could it be that you really are a harbinger of misfortune? You've already caused Huayan's death. That's why I left Lingqi sect. It was to refine that divine pill. That's how things are, Master. I've never thought about harming you. Master, you may not believe me, but please give me a little more time to refine the divine pill. Afterwards, I'll take poison to end my life." He took out a bottle of medicine from his clothes. Ning Huayan knocked the bottle from his hand, shattering it on the ground. She angrily looked at him and scolded, "Why are you saying such unlucky things? This child, from childhood to adulthood, why do you always think about dying when facing problems? When did I tell you to commit suicide?" Li Wenshu hesitated, looking at her guiltily. "Master, but because my medicine has caused you." Ning Huayan looked at the broken bottle on the ground and said coldly, "It's not because of your medicine. If those pills of yours could kill me, how could I still be called Ning Huayan? Your medicine is just one of the reasons. I need to investigate the truth. You cooperate with me to find Old Second first. We'll discuss other matters later." At this moment, Li Wenshu suddenly realized, "That's right. Why was I so arrogant to think I could kill Master with poison?" Seeing his expression, Yuan Huang couldn't help but sigh. Fourth Junior Brother is still as naive as before. If Second Junior Brother doesn't deceive you, who else could he deceive? Cao Jiao quickly reminded him to speak softly. "Be careful. Fourth Brother might hear and start crying again." Ning Huayan looked at Li Wenshu and said coldly, Little 4, you should keep the information about Master confidential. Outsiders must not know. Li Wenshu quickly replied, yes, I understand. He looked at her with a smile and asked, Master, Medicine Saint residence is very safe. Do you want to stay? I can take care of your health and find a way to help Big Senior Brother regain his human form soon. Chao Jiao stood aside and coldly glanced at him. I'm afraid you don't have such good intentions. Yuan Huang, hearing Li Wenshu's words, smiled happily. That's great, Little 4. I always say you're the most capable among the junior brothers. In the resting room, Ning Huayan sat on the bed, cultivating. Yuan Huang and Chao Gao sat beside her, eyes closed, resting. Ning Huayan sat on the bed with her eyes tightly shut, her brows furrowed, and suddenly she covered her mouth, coughing up blood. Chao Jiao quickly went to support her. Master, are you all right? Nin Huayan quickly replied, I'm fine. Nguyen Huang anxiously said, I'll go find fourth brother to take a look. After saying that, he went to call Li Wenshu. Chao Jiao poured another bowl and gave it to the female master to drink. Li Wenshu came over and took her. Let's take master to the medicinal bath first. The water in the medicinal bath is poisonous. We disciples aren't sick, so we might catch a difficult-to-treat illness. So let me handle it, or do you want my face to be full of gloomy sores? Then I'll trouble fourth brother. Nin Huayan suddenly spoke up. Little fourth, put me down. She glanced at him coldly and asked, What's wrong? Don't tell me you want to bathe and change clothes for me. Li Wenshu looked at her awkwardly. But soaking in the medicine needs to be combined with massage. Nin Huayan didn't hesitate to push him out. Just wait for me outside. Turn your back, child. Li Wenshu's face turned red. He quickly replied, Yes. Nin Huayan took off her clothes and glanced at him warningly. You're not allowed to peek at your master. The corner of her mouth curved into a gentle smile. Nin Huayan stepped into the bathtub. After a while, she said softly, All right, come in. Little Fourth placed one hand on her shoulder. Li Wenshu stood behind her, gently massaging her. Outside, Nguyen Huang angrily shouted, What's so special about that medicinal bath? In the future, I can also bathe and change clothes for Master. Chao Jiao coldly said, Cancer is also thinking about Master's health. Nguyen Huang's eyes blazed with anger. I think he must have set his eyes on Master's body. He angrily scratched the ground with his claws. If you don't know how to speak nicely, then shut your mouth. The door opened. What are you arguing about again? Nin Huayan came out and said coldly, Don't be angry with Old Fourth anymore. He has never been good with words, and Cancer's body is actually in a very miserable state. Nin Huayan recalled the past. A doctor came to examine a child. This child's health is too weak. I'm afraid he won't live long. The child's father and parents looked at the doctor worriedly and asked the doctor, Then my son. The confused child asked, What's wrong with Big Brother? Big Brother. The doctor handed the middle-aged man a prescription and sighed. Take this medicine 3 times a day. If it still doesn't work, I'm afraid even if immortals came, they would be helpless. That's right. Except for him, no one else can drink this medicine. A loud crash sounded. The medicine bowl fell to the ground and shattered. The child's mother fearfully hugged him tightly. No, my foolish child. The child's father angrily grabbed Li Wenshu's collar and scolded furiously. You cursed star. From old to young in this family, all have been harmed by you. Now you won't even spare your younger brother. Today I must kill you. The child's mother hurriedly stopped him and cried, No, if you dare to kill Cancer, I will die with him. The fortune teller also said he's a cursed star. If he doesn't die, he will take away the lives of others. 2 elders died consecutively on the day he was born. My blood brother also unfortunately fell off a mountain. My sister-in-law also died in childbirth. Li Wenshu cried, pitifully looking at the 2 arguing people. Parents, now there's a crop failure disaster. The whole village was living in poverty and hunger. There was no more food left to sustain its life. The mother hugged Li Wenshu tightly to her chest and said sorrowfully, Coincidences. They're all just coincidences. No one is born a sinner. Li Wenshu, lying in his mother's arms, thought to himself, No one is born a sinner. How could I be the exception? The next day, their door was kicked open forcefully. A man led a group of angry villagers barging in. This is their house. For 5 consecutive years, we've suffered from drought. It's all because of this child. We must drive it out of here. A middle-aged woman standing among the crowd looked at Li Wenshu's mother with difficulty and said, Sister Wen, I'm sorry. The village has truly run out of rice. My child has already died of starvation. We must be cautious. Caution brings good fortune. Sister, you should hand Wenshu over to us. Li Wenshu's mother, frightened, held him tightly to her chest, looking at that woman in disbelief. Sister, even you believe those rumors. Why should we leave our home? As long as I'm here, no one can harm Wenshu. The mother's words had barely left her lips when she too contracted a severe illness. Mother, don't leave me. I don't want you to die. His mother looked at him gently and said, Wenshu, don't be so desperate. Those people are all deceiving you. You know, you must continue to live. His mother's grave was very simple. Wenshu's clothes were in tatters. He leaned against his mother's grave, not knowing where to go. Wenji's grave. Not long after, the plague began to spread. Wherever Wenshu went, he was surrounded by disease and death. He began to believe that perhaps it was true, as the Taoist had said. He was the one who should die. As long as he lived, he would borrow the lives of others, which meant causing their deaths. Li Wenshu burst into tears. It's all my fault. The boy walked to the seashore. Suddenly, Ning Huaiyan appeared and picked up Li Wenshu. At such a young age, you're already learning to jump into the sea. That's not very good, you know. Li Wenshu angrily burst into tears and shouted, What do you understand? I am the star of death. Just by living, I cause others to die. Ning Huaiyan smiled, nodded, and looked at him asking, In that case, up until now, how many people have you killed? Li Wenshu curled up, slumped to the ground dejectedly, and replied, My parents, my younger brother, grandparents, uncle and aunt, and several villages hit by the plague. Ning Huaiyan frowned at him. Simply put, it's just people from a few villages. That's far less than me. An entire country was nearly wiped out because of me. Li Wenshu looked at her in surprise. A country. Ning Huaiyan sat down and looked at Li Wenshu, admonishing, If you give up on life so easily, then those who died because of you truly died in vain. Why not help me cure this plague instead? After helping me, then you can die. It wouldn't be too late, right? From then on, Wenshu began to follow me. Because his health was so weak, he struggled greatly in researching and cultivating medicines. Back to reality, Zhou helped her comb her hair. Ning Huaiyan sat at the dressing table and coldly reminded, Xiaoxi doesn't like to talk, but he has a kind heart. You children can't keep bullying him, especially you, Yuan Huang. Nguyen Huang angrily puffed smoke and retorted, I'm far from bullying that junior. The one who's been bullying him has always been that brat Mo Bak. Nin Huaiyan glanced at him. Huh, you're not teaming up with Mo Bak to bully little four together. Chao Jiao, standing on the side, chimed in. I often see big senior brother hitting fourth brother. Nguyen Huang angrily bristled at him. Little five, I never thought you were that kind of person. I've misjudged you. Chao Jiao, combing Nin Huaiyan's hair, said coldly. But fourth senior brother isn't exactly a gentle person either. Once bullied, he always secretly takes revenge. Otherwise, big senior brother, why do you think you're always having diarrhea? If it's not one part hurting, it's another. Nguyen Huang was shocked. What? You mean it's all because little four has been poisoning me? He angrily ran out quickly. I can't believe he dared to harm me like this. See if I don't beat him to death. Nin Huaiyan chuckled and asked, Why did you need to expose that? Chao Jiao smiled and replied, Big senior brother is so honest. If I didn't say it, I'm afraid he would never know for his entire life. Master, guess what? Who do you think will win this time? Nin Huaiyan looked at herself in the mirror and said coldly, Just wait and see. Nin Huaiyan tapped Chao Jiao's head and smiled, saying, I was just joking. We're all fellow disciples of the same sect. There's no need to talk about winning or losing. Don't tease Nguyen Huang anymore. Quickly go stop him. Don't disturb Ungthu's medicine brewing. She yawned tiredly. Go quickly. And by the way, tell little four that I'm feeling a bit sleepy, so I won't be soaking in medicine tonight. Chao Jiao rubbed his head and quickly replied, Yes, I understand, master. Late at night, Nin Huaiyan lay sound asleep on the bed. She dreamed of the warm scenes when Ling Chi sect was still around. Tan Mo Bach drew his sword and smiled, saying, I'll perform a sword dance for everyone to enjoy. Lion Thu raised his flute and smiled, saying, Let me accompany you with music. One person playing music, one person dancing with the sword, in perfect harmony. Nguyen Huang sat beside Nin Huaiyan, his eyes wide open. Mo Bach's sword dance is so good. I didn't expect his swordsmanship to be even better than Little Five's. Chao Gao heard this and suddenly became angry. How can you even compare that? Nguyen Huang, frightened, hid behind Nin Huaiyan. Master, save me. Tan Mo Bach and Lion Thu glanced at each other, nodding in understanding. Tan Mo Bach quickly rushed to attack Chao Jiao. Chao Jiao, shocked, shouted, Second brother. Nin Huaiyan's eyes contracted. Chao Jiao was pierced through the chest by a sharp sword. Lion Thu crossed his arms, his face cold. So slow, and you still managed to fail. Nguyen Huang, angry, drew his sword to retaliate against Tan Mo Bach and the other. You two never had good intentions from the start. I'll fight you to the death. Nin Huaiyan, heartbroken, hugged Chao Jiao. No, Little Five. Nin Huaiyan closed her eyes tightly. Nguyen Huang, stop fighting. She opened her eyes wide, her face pale. Nin Huaiyan sat up, resting her chin on her hand. Fortunately, it was just a dream. A young man with green hair carrying a tray of food came over and said to her, Ancestral Master, you're awake. Have something to eat. Nin Huayan sat at the table and asked coldly. I didn't expect to sleep for so long. Where did they all go? The green-haired young man set the food on the table and quickly replied, last night, a fire suddenly broke out in the village at the foot of the mountain. Many houses were burned. The casualties were very serious. Master and the two senior uncles went down the mountain to help. The Grandmaster rarely sleeps so soundly, so we didn't wake the Grandmaster up. Ning Huayan picked up a piece of food, nodded and said, you may leave first. The green-haired young man hesitated and looked at her. Grandmaster, someone outside is begging for treatment. I told him the master wasn't here, but he wouldn't believe it. Grandmaster, could you refuse him for me? Ning Huayan swallowed a bite of steamed bun and stood up. Let me go take a look. In the main hall of the Medicine Saint's residence, Ning Huayan approached and coldly said to the figure in front of her, you're ranked first on the bounty list. Ning Huayan laughed coldly as she looked at him. First on the bounty list. Wow, with my status, even first place is barely worthy of me. While he wasn't paying attention, she secretly cut the rope. But who sent someone to kill me? The young man shook his finger and replied, not to kill you. His eyes flickered. My mission was to lure you out. Tomorrow, deliver to the designated exchange point. Then I can collect the reward. Ning Huayan's eyes narrowed upon hearing this. This wasn't Old Tu's style of working. Old Tu would likely come looking for her himself. Moreover, the other party didn't seem certain whether she was alive or not. The young man sat down, resting his chin on his hand, and continued coldly. You've always had someone protecting you. Your vigilance is too high. I could only set a fire to lure the tiger from its den. Ning Huayan was stunned. What? You set the fire? She angrily broke free from the rope, her eyes filled with killing intent as she looked at him. Is that so? Then never mind. A hand suddenly grabbed her wrist. The young man held her tightly from behind, his eyes glinting. Although I didn't fall for this trick, but if you don't mind, I'd like to enjoy you first. Ning Huayan smiled seductively at him. All right then, but answer this question for me first. You have such great talent. Why do you follow the most shameless profession in the martial world? The young man embraced her, whispering softly, not everyone can be like you. Born into a famous family and incredibly intelligent. From childhood, you've been the center of everyone's attention. Ning Huayan lowered her eyes, a lonely look in them. Being the center of attention from childhood isn't necessarily lucky, you know. The young man held her tightly, gently nuzzling her hair. But you've certainly never experienced the life of someone lowly, with no choices. I learned martial arts, but if I didn't enter this profession, I'd only live more miserably. Ning Huayan glanced at him and said softly, it sounds like you were forced to become a villain. So should I, as someone being kidnapped, sympathize with you? She turned around, smiling, as she asked. The young man hugged her and smiled in response. That's not necessary. If it weren't for these martial arts, I wouldn't have the chance to be intimate with you. His hand gripped her waist tightly. Ning Huayan's voice softened and trembled slightly. Let me go. Hearing her soft voice, the young man's voice became husky. Don't you know, the more you act like this, the more I want to punish you. Seeing him put a blindfold over her eyes, Ning Huayan softly pleaded. Don't. What are you doing? The young man's cheeks turned pink. He looked at her passionately. Darling, don't you think this makes it more exciting? As he said this, he leaned down and kissed her lips. Be gentle. After a while, he released her lips and smiled. I thought the sect leader Ning wasn't an ordinary person, so you'd surely enjoy more exciting games. But unexpectedly, you can't handle even this much excitement. Ning Huayan removed the blindfold and laughed coldly. I'm just afraid the excitement you're giving me isn't enough. She put the blindfold on his eyes. Are you scared? The young man held her hand, smiling. What should I be afraid of? I'm only afraid I won't be able to serve sect leader Ning properly. Ning Huayan pushed him away. She crossed her arms and smiled at him. Did you really think I needed to seduce you? You're not worthy enough yet. The young man steadied himself. He was silent for a moment, then said, You'd better not think I'm some kind of good person. Time passed. It's unclear how long. The rain outside finally stopped. Ning Huayan and the young man each stood in a corner resting. Suddenly, Ning Huayan's stomach growled. I'm so hungry. Why haven't Yuan Huang and Xiao Wu arrived yet? Could I really die here? The wind outside brushed past her. Ning Huayan looked outside joyfully, feeling the wind. Then Yuan Huang must be able to find me. The young man glanced at her and asked, You seem to have a lot of faith in your disciples. Ning Huayan looked at him with contempt. If I don't trust them, should I trust you instead? Rainwater left on the leaves fell to the ground. Li Wenshu, Zhou Jiao, and Yuan Huang approached the mountain. Lion Thu looked around and said softly, "The scent of Anthan Huang is getting stronger." He placed his hand on the large rock. "That's right, Master is inside." Chao Jiao narrowed his eyes, glancing at the blocked cave entrance in front of him. Master is trapped inside this cave. Fortunately, there's a gap in the cave entrance. That's how fourth senior brother was able to find this place. But what if we can't open this cave entrance? He swallowed nervously. Or if fourth senior brother's Anthan Huang has lost its effect due to the heavy rain. He whispered to Nguyen Huang on eldest senior brother's shoulder. "It's all up to you now. I absolutely won't let Master fall into danger ever again. Chao Jiao, you must remember this day well. Something like this must never happen again." Nguyen Huang proudly jumped to the ground, saying, "Quar, watch this." He then used his magic. His entire body was enveloped in a golden light inside the cave. Nin Huai'an was so hungry her limbs felt weak. She sat down with her back against the cave wall. "If Nguyen Huang doesn't come soon, your master will die here." The young man looked at her mockingly. "It seems your disciples aren't reliable after all." Nin Huai'an coldly looked at him. "Whether my disciples are reliable or not is not for you to judge. You must know our current situation. If you want to live longer, it's best to keep quiet." The young man stood up and said coldly, "We're going to die anyway. I'd rather die in pleasure." He walked over and lifted her chin. "I believe you think the same, don't you?" Nin Huai'an's face darkened. "I don't like people guessing my thoughts. Besides, you guessed wrong." She pushed his hand away. "I won't die here because I believe in them. No matter what difficulties I face, I always believe they will definitely find me." Just then, the cave entrance was destroyed. Nin Huai'an looked outside joyfully. "See, I wasn't wrong." The young man looked outside in surprise. A large bump appeared on Nguyen Huang's head. Li Anthu and Chao Gao looked at her worriedly. "Master, we're here. Master, Anthu is late." Nguyen Huang cried as he approached her. "Wah wah wah, Master. My head hurts so much. Anthu will check your health." "Master, are you all right?" Nguyen Huang threw himself into Nin Huai'an's arms, worriedly saying, "Master's heartbeat is too weak. Fourth brother, hurry." Nin Huai'an forced a smile and said, "I'm numb all over." The young man sighed. "It feels like I'm invisible." Li Anthu checked Nin Huai'an's pulse and said, "Master's health isn't actually a cause for concern. It's just due to lack of oxygen for too long, causing uneven blood flow. Just take this pill and you'll be fine." He handed her a small pill. Chao Jiao glanced at the young man beside them and coldly asked, "Was it you who kidnapped our master and brought her here?" Nguyen Huang angrily raised his claws. "Why talk so much? Just take him back for punishment." The young man's mouth twitched. Being invisible doesn't seem so bad after all. Li Anthu's expression turned frightening. He raised the poison pill in his hand and looked at him fiercely, saying, "I don't think we need to be so troublesome. We can just kill him with poison directly." Nin Huai'an hurriedly stopped them, saying, "Wait, don't kill him yet. He's just a rabbit farmer. We were just chasing after a cute little rabbit. That's why I accidentally fell into this cave. So let's give him the elixir and let him leave." Li Wenchu looked at him suspiciously. Ning Huai'an approached and handed the young master a small pill. "Take this elixir. Your health will quickly recover. Then we'll take our leave first." The young master took the small elixir and glanced at her back. Zhou Jiao and Li Wenchu worriedly came over to take care of Ning Huai'an. "Master, be careful of your steps, master. Watch your step. Walk slowly." Ning Huai'an said helplessly, "I'm just suffering from lack of oxygen." Late at night in the small house, the young master was sleeping soundly on the bed when suddenly a hidden weapon was thrown. A hand reached out and caught the hidden weapon. The young master sat up straight and said coldly, "Indeed, I still couldn't fool you." Someone walked in from outside. A gloomy voice sounded. "I remember every blade of grass in this place. How many households are here? How many cats and dogs? I know it all very well." Li Wenchu approached, squinting at him. "You're not actually a rabbit-raising farmer. Your behavior has reached my limit. Today, you must die." As he spoke, he raised his hand and pressed the young master down onto the bed. The young master angrily shouted, "Let me go." He frowned at Li Wenchu and said coldly, "Out of consideration for the elixir you gave me, I won't kill you today. By the way, I'll tell you one more thing. Behind sect leader Ning's failed ascension, there's a hidden conspiracy that neither you nor I can face. Today, with just me alone, I almost succeeded. I can tell you this. Tomorrow will be 10 times more dangerous than today, 100 times, 1,000 times, and it will never stop happening. So the result of continuing to investigate as planned won't be what you hope to see." Li Wenchu's face turned pale. The young master pressed him down and said coldly, "If you want to protect her, then stop her from investigating." Li Wenchu was stunned. "Wait, you." The young master jumped off the bed and ran quickly outside. "I've said everything. Farewell." Li Wenchu clutched his chest as he sat up, his brows furrowed tightly. "A conspiracy we can't face. face. The window of the house opened. Wind blew in from outside. Li Wenshu sat on the bed, his eyes downcast, only stopping Master can protect Master. A moment later, a hand gently opened the door. Zhou Jiao glanced at him and asked, "Successful?" Li Wenshu cupped his fists and looked at him, saying, "Thank you, junior brother, for reminding me to pay attention to that guy who has extraordinary skills." Everything went very smoothly. Zhou Jiao looked at him and asked urgently, "Did you find out anything?" Li Wenshu shook his head and replied, "No." Hearing this, Zhou Jiao didn't ask any further and said coldly, "Rest early. But later, we'll need you to refine some more healing elixirs. Today's incident is also a wake-up call for me. Perhaps what we have to face is more dangerous than we imagined." Li Wenshu turned and walked out. His face darkened. "That's right. Big senior brother and junior brother will definitely continue to investigate. Master won't give up either." The corners of his mouth turned up. "Master, you must give up." Late at night in the bedroom, a smoke bomb was blown into the room. Looking at Zhou Jiao and Yuan Huang lying on the bed, Li Wenshu gazed at the two with cold eyes. "Big senior brother, little junior brother, good night." In the bathroom, Ning Huiyan sat in the bathtub. Li Wenshu sat behind her, giving her a massage. Shu closed her eyes, smiled, and said, "It's rare to have such peace and quiet. Those two kids went to sleep early today." Li Wenshu smiled and replied, "Not just early to bed. They must be sleeping very soundly and sweetly too." Ning Huiyan laughed at this. "Wenshu, why does what you say sound so strange, Wenshu?" She looked at him in surprise. Li Wenshu took off his clothes. His face turned red. "Master, I'm sorry, but I can't help but do this." Li Wenshu reached out his hand. He stepped into the bathtub, looking at her passionately. "Master," he said, then bent down to kiss her neck. Ning Huiyan couldn't bear such stimulation and let out a soft moan. "Wenshu, what are you doing?" Li Wenshu released her and looked at her gently, saying, "Later, you'll have children to keep you company and stay by your side forever." Ning Huiyan sat up and looked at his back with a heavy heart. "Wenshu, your senior and junior brothers won't believe your words at all." She trembled slightly. "I really don't understand the personalities of your senior and junior brothers anymore. Doing this will only harm yourself." The next day, Yuan Huang looked around in surprise. Where's Master? Could she have gone out early in the morning?" Zhou Jiao crossed his arms and said coldly, "It can't be that early. Master usually can't get up at this time." Li Wenshu approached and said coldly, "You're wrong. Master left early this morning." Yuan Huang and Zhou Jiao were shocked. "What did you say?" "Master is gone." "Impossible. Master would never abandon us. Master promised us that no matter what, she would never leave, so you must be lying." He remembered the promise Ning Huiyan had made before. "I won't leave." Yuan Huang angrily grabbed Li Wenshu's collar. "You and that old man are indeed of the same ilk. Hand over Master now. Otherwise." Li Wenshu looked at him coldly and asked, "Otherwise what? What do you want to do?" Yuan Huang narrowed his eyes at him. "Otherwise I'll kill you. Old Five might be soft-hearted, but I'm not." Li Wenshu removed his hand and said coldly, "I've already said everything I needed to say. Whether you believe it or not is up to you. If you want to attack, feel free." His eyes flashed. Yuan Huang angrily used his energy to send him flying. Li Wenshu spat out a mouthful of blood and fell heavily to the ground. Zhou Jiao looked at him angrily and said, "For the sake of our brotherhood, hand over Master. My patience is limited too." Li Wenshu wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and laughed coldly. "Haha, if you don't believe me, then kill me. Why act like a woman?" Zhou Jiao angrily reminded him. "Li Wenshu, Yuan Huang will really kill you." Li Wenshu laughed loudly, provoking, "Haha, do it, Master. I won't let you suffer any more harm in the outside world. Master, I will definitely protect you safely, even if I have to sacrifice my life." Yuan Huang was furious, his body burning with killing intent. "My patience has run out. After killing you, we can still find Master." At this moment in the room, Ning Huiyan was lying on the bed resting. Outside, loud fighting sounds could be heard. She frowned tightly. "No good. I can't let them continue fighting. It seems I have no choice but to forcefully open my acupoints." Her hand tightened on the bedsheet. Ning Huiyan gritted her teeth and tried to open her acupoints. On the other side, Yuan Huang's hand gripped the sword tightly. He coldly looked at Li Wenshu lying on the ground. Zhou Jiao stood to the side. He turned his head, unable to bear watching this scene. Meanwhile, Ning Huiyan opened her mouth wide. Her face was pale. Cough, cough. She spat out a mouthful of blood. Finally done. Ning Huiyan quickly put on clothes and weakly went outside. She had to stop them quickly. Yuan Huang angrily raised his sword. "Go die." Suddenly a shout rang out, "Stop!" Yuan Huang frowned and looked towards the voice. "Master." Zhou Jiao also looked over in shock. Ning Huiyan leaned against the door, looking weakly at the three. Yuan Huang looked at her worriedly and quickly asked, "Master, Master, are you hurt? Are you all right?" Ning Huiyan breathed heavily, frowning and said, I'm fine. Yuan Huang stopped and put down his sword. You are all fellow disciples. How can there be infighting within the sect? Wen Huang angrily glared at Leon Thu. Leon Thu, if it weren't for Master, you would already be dead. Nin Huayan approached and gently patted Leon Thu's head. Be good. Everything's fine. Leon Thu burst into tears. Master, you shouldn't go out. You should return to your room. Leon Thu stood firmly in front of Nin Huayan. With teary eyes, he said determinedly, I absolutely won't let Master and the others continue investigating the failed ascension. Absolutely not. Wen Huang and Chao Jiao frowned and glanced at him. Leon Thu glanced at Nin Huayan sitting behind and quickly said, Master, I beg you, don't investigate those matters anymore. An Thu is willing to live in seclusion with you, spending happy days together. Nin Huayan gently caressed his cheek and said seriously, An Thu, you must understand. Ascension is the greatest wish in this lifetime for me. I know you like your master, but you can't let your affection prevent the wishes of the person you care about. That's not called liking. It's just selfish possession. Don't worry. Master will be fine. Wen Huang also has Io. You are all Master's support. She stood up, smiling gently at the three of them. With you here, Master will be fine. How could Master let herself die in vain and moreover cause you all heartache? Lan Thu looked at her and asked, Really? Nin Huayan smiled and nodded in agreement. Lion Thu burst into tears and threw himself into her arms. Wawa Master. Seeing him like this, Nin Huayan was reminded of when he was little. She smiled gently and comforted him. Be good, Master is here. Wen Huang and Chao Jiao stood to the side, moved to tears. Unable to control themselves, they also ran over. Wawa Master, we want to too. Us too. Nin Huayan smiled and comforted the three. Outside, there was a loud noise. Nin Huayan frowned and looked outside. What has happened? Leon Thu frowned and replied, The formation at the mountain gate has been activated. Someone has invaded this place. A group of people wielding swords charged up the mountain. Charge up and kill them all. They shouted fiercely as they rushed inside. The leader crossed his arms and coldly smiled at them. Very good. All four sides are tightly surrounded. Even if you grow wings, it'll be hard for you to fly away. His eyes became frenzied. Master, you can rest assured. I will definitely kill all of them. In another room, a person in a black cloak respectfully looked at a purple-haired man. Master, you've returned. The purple-haired man grunted softly, then coldly asked, How far along are we? The cloaked figure quickly replied, Everything has been arranged. As soon as he finished speaking, he spat out a mouthful of blood. Poisonous wolf. Wu Chang turned back in shock. You're injured. What happened? The cloaked figure quickly replied, At Wusong's sword pavilion, someone attacked and injured this disciple. Poisonous wolf Wu Chang narrowed his eyes and asked, Who was it? The masters of Wusong's sword pavilion. The cloaked figure shook his head and replied, It was a woman. Behind her were another person and a spirit beast companion. Poisonous wolf Wu Chang's hand clenched tightly, his brow furrowed. A woman with a spirit beast. He looked at the disciple and asked, Describe their specific characteristics to me. The disciple quickly replied, Yes. As the disciple described, Poisonous wolf. Wu Chang frowned and thought to himself, Could it be them? Saying that, the woman must be the one he angrily roared. Daring to strike my people, they must be tired of living. Stand down. The disciple quickly replied, Yes, master. After that disciple left, he glanced at his close subordinate and ordered, Investigate for me. After finding that woman, along with those by her side, kill them all without mercy. The subordinate quickly responded, Yes. The master returned to reality. The protective formation was broken. Those people wielding swords rushed in to kill. The close subordinate of poisonous wolf Wu Chang saw this scene and laughed viciously. Kill them all for me. Don't spare even one. The four people, including Ning Huayan, opened the door. Looking outside, it was a scene of devastation. Blood stained everywhere. The four people's faces changed color. Li Wenshu went to check the body of a disciple and frowned, saying, Master, the enemy is too strong. Almost all disciples are casualties. I hope you leave quickly. Zhou Jiao and Yuan Huang's eyes contracted. Li Wenshu angrily roared, Damn it! Yuan Huang looked at Ning Huayan and quickly said, Master, this place is too dangerous. We should prioritize safety. I hope you leave this place quickly. Zhou Jiao worriedly also hurriedly said, That's right, Master. We will cover for you. Li Wenshu stood up, eyes determined, looking at her. Master, even if it costs my life, I must ensure you leave here safely. Ning Huayan looked at the three people emotionally. Jiao, Yuan Huang, Wenshu. She firmly refused. No, how can your master abandon you? If we live together. If we die together. Moreover, we're not certain to die yet. The three were moved to tears, Master. A sharp sword flew towards them. Want to leave. The sword landed right in front of the four people. You can't leave. The four were surrounded. The leader, holding a spear, pointed it at Ning Huayan and laughed coldly. It's her. Get her for me. Ning Huayan narrowed her eyes at him. Killing me won't be that easy. Yuan Huang, Wen Shu, and Ah Jiao shouted in unison. Master, you have us. Ning Huayan narrowed her eyes and roared. Kill them for me. The three responded in unison. Yes. Ning Huayan raised her hand to attack the leader. Huh. Yuan Huang angrily took down one after another. Daring to eye our master, you really are tired of living. Li Wenshu controlled poisonous insects to attack them, killing so many of our disciples and still wanting to harm our master. See if I don't poison you to death. Zhou Jiao, sword in hand, glared at them with sharp eyes. Daring to cross my line, you all must die. After a while, Zhou Jiao frowned deeply, looking at Li Wenshu lying on the ground. Yuan Huang panted, looking at the crowd. Ning Huayan's face changed color. Damn it, not long ago, I was poisoned. Originally, I didn't have much strength left. Yuan Huang stood firmly in front, protecting the three behind. The leader laughed coldly, looking at the four. You're all about to die anyway. Yuan Huang glanced at Ning Huayan behind him, smiled and said, Master, even if Yuan Huang has to risk his life, I must ensure you leave here safely. He raised his sword and shouted, Come on, even if my soul scatters, I will not let you harm my master. Ning Huayan frowned, looking at him. This is not good. Yuan Huang can no longer fight. If he continues, he will surely die. It seems I can only force myself to use my power. Once it's activated, then the fact that I've cultivated the golden elixir will definitely be exposed. A female golden elixir cultivator suddenly appearing. At that time, it will surely spread throughout the world. She narrowed her eyes. This would be extremely disadvantageous for me to work. So, do I have to kill all these people? Ning Huayan clenched her hand tightly. She raised her head and glanced at them. They were just following orders, having no choice in the matter. Chao Gao behind her stared at her in astonishment. He couldn't believe Master was so close to the golden elixir, truly worthy of being born with a body for cultivating the Tao. Tears welled up in his eyes as he looked at her with adoration. Master is too kind. Even at this moment, she still feels pity for these people, truly worthy of being the master I love and admire most in this world. Nguyen Huang began to use all of his strength to attack them. Chao Dao behind quickly shouted, Nguyen Huang, stop. Master has a way to deal with them. Nguyen Huang looked at her in shock. Ning Huayan smiled coldly, looking at the dying leader. What a shame. It seems I've disappointed you. Her entire body was enveloped in a purple light. Ho Fi called out worriedly. None of them know how to take care of others. Master, you have no one to take care of you. These days, you must have endured a lot of hardships, right? He quickly grabbed her hand. Master, how about this? From now on, let little Phi take care of you, okay? We'll never be apart. Little Phi will definitely take good care of Master comfortably. That person couldn't stand it anymore. Angrily rushing forward, he scolded him furiously. Damn it! Who doesn't know how to take care of Master? What nonsense are you talking about? If you take care of her, Master will only become more and more beautiful. Senior brother is really not okay, but I'm different. I make breakfast for Master every day. Master only needs me to take care of her. That's enough. Nguyen Huang angrily looked at Chao Dao and roared, Little Five, you dare to oppose me, just with that breakfast of yours. It's so hard to eat. Even dogs would refuse to eat it. Chao Jiao gritted his teeth and glared at him. Brother Ho Fi didn't say a word. He waved his hand, and the other three fell to the ground, fast asleep. Ning Huayan was shocked. Little Fi, your senior and junior brothers, Ho Fi smiled and replied, Master, they're fine. They're just too tired. It's time for them to have a good sleep. Master, now no one will disturb us anymore. I just want to be alone with Master for a while longer. Master, he reached out and caressed her cheek. Recently, Little Phi has learned a new massage technique. Let Little Phi demonstrate it for you. Is that okay? Ning Huayan smiled and hugged his face. This kid is getting naughtier and naughtier. In the restroom, Ho Fi gently massaged her. Master, does it feel good? Ning Huayan smiled and replied, Ho Fi smiled and said, Master, this is just the beginning. Little Phi will make Master feel even better. To make Master experience the ultimate pleasure, Little Phi has been practicing for a long time. He hugged her tightly from behind. Ning Huayan let out a soft moan. Ho Fi breathed hot air onto her hand. Ning Huayan bit her lip tightly. This naughty kid, who on earth did he learn this from? But it feels so good. Ho Fi softly called her name, Master. Ning Huayan put her hand on his cheek and whispered, Don't speak. She wrapped her arms around his neck and placed a soft kiss on his lips. After a while, the two separated. A silver thread connected their mouths. After some time, the two put their clothes back on neatly. Ho Fi massaged her while asking, Master, the Fox clan is preparing for the Crown Prince's ascension ceremony. Do you want to go and see? Little Phi will take you there. Ning Huayan said softly, I'm at a crucial point in my elixir refinement. I'd better not go. Ho Fi looked at her pleadingly. Master, please go. It's been a long time since little Phi has been to a grand ceremony with you. Ning Huayan hesitated, but Hofi looked at her enticingly, the Fox clan. There are handsome men everywhere. Ning Huayan's lustful nature rose again. How handsome are they exactly? Her eyes became determined. Your master thinks you're right. Master's cultivation doesn't need to be rushed. When do we leave? Hofi imagined the scene of taking Ning Huayan back to the Fox clan. He smiled and massaged her. Master, don't worry. I definitely won't let you down. The door of the room opened. The three, including Nguyen Huang, rushed in, angrily looking at Hofi. Chao Jiao stepped forward angrily, pointing at him and roaring. Third senior brother, I didn't expect you to knock us out, to have master all to yourself, Hofi said coldly, with an expressionless face. I just thought you were too tired, so I let you rest properly, that's all. Chao Jiao frowned and looked at him suspiciously. What do you mean? Ning Huayan smiled and spoke up, cutting off the argument. I've decided we'll leave soon for the Fox Demon Lake. Chao Jiao gritted his teeth angrily as he looked at Hofi and the Fox Demon clan. Why does Master suddenly want to go to the Fox Demon clan? It must be his idea. Leon Thu ran up to Ning Huayan and said pitifully, Master, didn't you say you wanted to stay at Ung Thu's place for a month because Ung Thu still needs to make a lot of medicine to nourish your body? Master, has Ung Thu done something unsatisfactory? Ning Huayan stroked his cheek to comfort him. Master doesn't mean that. Hofi smiled and replied, Master, don't rush. Next, little Phi will make you feel extremely good. The door was forcefully opened by Nguyen Huang. He angrily burst in. You little brat, what are you doing? Ning Huayan looked at him in surprise. Nguyen Huang and Hofi frowned, thinking to themselves, I clearly got him drunk already. He frowned at Nguyen Huang and said, What am I doing? Of course, I'm serving master. On the contrary, it's you, eldest senior brother, suddenly barging in here. Do you still respect master? Nguyen Huang, feeling wronged, started crying and climbed onto the bathtub, looking at Ning Huayan, his face full of pity. Boo-hoo, master. Why didn't you look for Nguyen Huang? Nguyen Huang can also massage you. Hofi crossed his arms and looked at him with a smirk. You're so rough. What can you do? With just those short legs of yours, do you think you can manage a massage? You all must have caused master a lot of trouble already. Nguyen Huang looked dejectedly at his short legs. Hofi sighed. Master is surrounded by people who don't know how to serve at all. Little Phi always feels it's unfair to use people. Nguyen Huang looked at him angrily, bristling. You bad junior. Do you want to fight? Hofi laughed coldly and replied, eldest senior brother, relying on your current state, it seems you can't beat me, can you? Nguyen Huang grunted angrily. He turned to look at Ning Huayan dejectedly and asked, Master, is Nguyen Huang really useless? Ning Huayan smiled and patted his head. Of course not, my child. Feed to me. You are all useful. Hofi shrugged and added another stab. Eldest senior brother, don't you understand? Master is just comforting you. It's just that master is too kind to say it. Nguyen Huang angrily lunged towards him. Nguyen Huang's eyes blazed with anger. I must teach you a lesson, you brat. Hofi laughed coldly. He immediately transformed into 9 tails. Who's afraid of whom? Ning Huayan angrily looked at the two and shouted, Nguyen Huang, Phi, what do you think you're doing? As fellow disciples, how can you fight each other? Nguyen Huang frowned and looked at him. Master. Ning Huayan angrily pointed at the two and shouted, Both of you return to your rooms immediately. Reflect on your actions obediently. Hofi was stunned and upset, quickly saying, But master, without me, who will massage you? Nguyen Huang also pointed at himself and quickly said, That's right. Nguyen Huang also wants to massage you. Ning Huayan frowned. That's right. It seems there's still this issue. Seeing Chao Jiao casually walking by, Ning Huayan pointed at him and said, Isn't there already the 5th junior? Why don't you come here and massage master? Chao Jiao smiled smugly and accepted the order. Yes, master. Your disciple will certainly do his best. He glanced at Nguyen Huang and Hofi, saying, Senior brothers, shouldn't you quickly go back and reflect? Nguyen Huang angrily looked at him and roared, 5th junior, are you plotting against me? Hofi was so angry he was steaming. 5th junior, you're so cruel. Suddenly, a stream of blue smoke appeared. No need to fight. Tonight, master belongs to me alone. The 4 people in the bathroom were stunned. 3 people, Nguyen Huang, Hofi, and Chao Jiao, fell to the ground. Chao Jiao frowned and looked outside. Not again. Hofi angrily cursed. 4th junior is so despicable. Nguyen Huang said resentfully, I don't accept this. Leon Thu stood leaning against the door, arms crossed, smiling and said, Master, now it's just you and me left. Tonight, master belongs only to me. Ning Huayan helplessly slapped his forehead. What kind of disciples have I raised? They're all so childish. We could have all gone to the grave together. Li Wenshu approached, his hand gently touching her skin. Master, please forgive this disciple's selfishness. But tonight, I alone will be enough to drive you crazy with pleasure. He bent down to kiss her bare back. Ning Huayan glanced at him and sighed. Fine, forget it. Tonight, master will satisfy you. Li Wenshu gently bit her earlobe. Master, Wenshu hopes to always be by your side, to undress you and bathe you, to let you enjoy the ultimate pleasure. Ning Huayan looked at him and asked softly, Wenshu, won't you come with your master? She gently picked up a beautiful flower. Li Wenshu hugged her tightly from behind and replied, Wenshu is a harbinger of misfortune. Staying by your side will only bring you more danger. Ning Huayan looked at him gently and said, Wenshu, you are not a harbinger of misfortune. You are this master's disciple, the most important person to this master. Li Wenshu lifted her from the bathtub. Master's love for Wenshu can feel it very clearly. Now master just needs to enjoy the love that Wenshu brings to you. Ning Huayan smiled at him. Her hand moved down to grasp the thing between his legs. Li Wenshu's face turned bright red. Ning Huayan looked at him smugly. Wenshu, you seem to be at your limit already. Li Wenshu looked at her with dreamy eyes. Master, Ning Huayan hugged him tightly and smiled. Right now, carry your master to bed. Late at night in the bedroom, Li Wenshu bent down and gently licked Ning Huayan's neck. Master. Ning Huayan's body trembled slightly. Master, are you satisfied with Wenshu's performance? Ning Huayan opened her eyes, her gaze dreamy. Wenshu. She wrapped her arms around his neck tightly. Master likes it very much. She flipped him over onto the bed. But let's continue. Ning Huayan stuck out her tongue and licked every inch of his flesh. Li Wenshu let out a soft moan. Ah! Master, you must take care of yourself. Wenshu can't go with you. Ning Huayan smiled and replied, Don't worry, Wenshu. With Yuan Huang and the others here, it'll be fine. The next morning, the three of them, Yuan Huang, Hu Fei, and Zhou Jiao, stood angrily in one corner, their faces cold. Ning Huayan held Li Wenshu's hand, worriedly instructing him. Wenshu, after Master leaves, you must take care of yourself. Li Wenshu looked at her with attachment. Master, Wenshu will wait for you here. If anything happens, you must send news to Wenshu immediately. Ning Huayan smiled and agreed. All right. The three, Yuan Huang and the others, in the distance, had expressions full of displeasure and dissatisfaction. That damned guy is an eyesore. As the four walked away, Li Wenshu stood behind, waving and calling out, Master, remember to take good care of yourself. The four set off on their journey. Hu Fei smiled and introduced, Master, once we enter that village, we'll be in fox spirit territory. Ning Huayan smiled and replied, Zhou Jiao beside her, angry with a darkened face. Truly a vixen, only knows how to use male beauty to bewitch master. Ning Huayan laughed happily and joyfully skipped away. The four entered fox spirit territory. Looking at the handsome men before her, Ning Huayan's eyes lit up brightly. Whoa! Fox spirits truly live up to their reputation. It lives up to its reputation as a place with many handsome men. But these people are still inferior to Xiao Fei. Thinking about it, it's true. After all, Xiao Fei also comes from the royal lineage of the Fox Spirit clan. Long time no see. Xiao Fei is indeed becoming more handsome by the day. While Chao Dap looks unhappy thinking to himself, am I not handsome? Ning Huayan thought to himself. Xiao Fei's silly appearance from that year is still somewhat nostalgic. A white fox cub ran swiftly over. Seeing the book on the ground, the little fox cub gnawed at the book. Seeing the silhouette of someone practicing swordsmanship in the distance, its eyes lit up. Ning Huayan's figure at that time was very enchanting. At this moment, a figure ran over from afar. Seeing the fox cub, he shouted, Someone, quickly stop this beast. Don't let it run away. Ning Huayan heard the commotion behind him and glanced back to see a small white figure running swiftly past. The man collapsed on the ground, exhausted. The precious Hun Baldan, guarding our sect, has been stolen. Ning Huayan ran over, thinking to himself, what just rushed past? It's senior sister Qinglan. Qinglan ran past you very quickly, chasing after that fox cub. The male disciple saw this and smiled, saying, with senior sister Qinglan taking action, I'm afraid that beast won't be able to escape. Ning Huayan frowned with concern. Senior sister's cultivation is profound. She's always been decisive and ruthless in her actions. If she catches up, I'm afraid that little fox cub will surely die. Perhaps it's different from what we think. It came to steal the precious book, but there must be another reason. I must go and save it. Elsewhere, the weak white fox cub lay on the ground. Blood flowed from its body. Qinglan looked at it with cold, sharp eyes. Hand over the Bao Dian, and I'll spare your life. The white fox cub bit tightly onto the book, refusing to let go, and looked at her. Qinglan, angered, clenched her fist. Indeed, a beast that doesn't know life from death. She waved her hand, and the fox cub was sent flying backward. It coughed up blood and fell heavily to the ground, unable to move. I can't die here. I still have to avenge. I absolutely cannot die here. It weakly reached out towards the book. It hugged the book tightly and took flight. Qinglan quickly ran over and jumped up to block the fox cub, still trying to run. Seeing the powerful attack coming towards itself, the little fox cub's eyes were full of fear and unwillingness. It fell heavily to the ground once again. Is this how it ends? It lay in a pool of blood, its body devoid of vitality. Father, I am an unfilial child. I couldn't avenge you. Then Qinglan jumped down, pointing her sword directly at it, and coldly said, my patience has limits. Hand over the Hunyuan Bao Dian. I guarantee you'll die with your body intact. Seeing it remain silent without movement, Qinglan's face darkened. Even if you don't speak, I can still find the Bao Dian. Just as her sword was about to plunge down, a hand stopped her. Senior sister, stop. Qinglan, displeased, glanced at the junior sister who wanted to save it. A beast that stole our sect's precious book. Ning Huayan hurriedly tried to persuade her. Senior sister, no matter what, it's still a life. What if it has some hardship we don't know about? Qinglan let out a cold laugh. How ridiculous. She broke free from her grasp and raised her sword high. Get out of the way. This beast must die. Her eyes suddenly contracted. Another sharp sword lunged forward, blocking her sword. Thanlan squinted at the junior sister. Do you want to confront me? Nin Huayan stood firmly in front of the little fox, protecting it, and coldly said, Senior sister, I wouldn't dare. It's just that it's also a life. It shouldn't die like this. Thanlan raised her sword, pointing it at the junior sister. If you want to speak up for this beast, then take the sword in your hand and defeat me. Both the master and the senior brother say you've made miraculous progress, but I don't believe it. Today, let me see how strong you've really become. You're awake. The first thing it saw was her towering chest. Its face turned bright red. Its little feet trembled as it raised them. Oh, great fox ancestor, am I still in heaven? It's so enormous. It had another nosebleed. At this moment, Nin Huayan suddenly remembered. Oh my, she forgot she was still naked. Speaking of which, this fox cub was overly excited. The thing between its legs stood up. Nin Huayan's hand accidentally touched its body. It trembled with excitement from the overwhelming pleasure. Oh, great fox ancestor, I can't take it anymore. Nin Huayan sighed. Why did it faint again? Who knows how long it'll be out? The white fox cub lying on the bed slowly opened its eyes. Seeing it awake, Nin Huayan finally breathed a sigh of relief. You're finally awake. You nearly scared me to death. She looked at it apologetically. I'm sorry, little fox. I used too much force earlier. The white fox cub was stunned, its cheeks flushing red. That wasn't a dream. It was real. It looked up at her with a serious expression. Thank you for saving my life. From now on, this little fox is willing to follow and serve you. I'll respect and revere you alone for life. Nin Huayan looked at it in surprise. You can speak. The white fox cub nodded and looked at her lovingly. Nin Huayan approached and gently patted its head. I just helped you on a whim. You don't need to follow and serve me. If your health is no longer a concern, then you should leave here quickly. Seeing her disagreement, the white fox cub hurriedly said, Absolutely not. My nine-tailed clan always repays kindness. This little fox is willing to serve you wholeheartedly from now on. Nin Huayan looked at it curiously and asked, Nine-tailed clan, then where are your other 8 tails? The white fox cub looked at her sincerely. I will show you my true form. It then used magic, and its other 8 tails appeared. The white fox cub looked at her seriously and said, Benefactor, please let this little fox follow you. Nin Huayan smiled at it. So this is your true identity. You're quite adorable. You staying by my side. I'm afraid it's not just to repay a debt, is it? Moreover, if you've already stolen the Hunyao Dian, why didn't you immediately hand it over to the person behind you? She crossed her arms and said coldly. The white fox cub hesitated. Well. Nin Huayan looked at it and asked directly, Why did you want to steal the Hunyuan Bao Dian? Bichha sect is the #1 sect in the world. The Hunyuan Bao Dian is one of their most prized treasures. Aren't you afraid of death? The white fox cub lowered its head, its expression gloomy. Because I want revenge. My 9-tailed fox clan was originally the royal clan of demon foxes. We enjoyed a peaceful and comfortable life. But one day, the traitors of our dark clan shattered those peaceful days. They colluded with the celestial wolf clan, not only overthrowing our 9-tailed clan's status, but also causing my parents and siblings to... Nin Huayan looked at it sympathetically. So it turns out we're in the same situation. The white fox cub raised its head and looked at her with pitiful eyes. I heard that the demon beast clan is most suitable for cultivating the Hunyuan Bao Dian, especially the fox clan, so I risked coming here. The Hunyuan Bao Dian suddenly appeared in Nin Huayan's palm. She looked at it coldly and said, "It's a pity though. The Hunyuan Bao Dian you obtained is fake, because the real book is with me. As for your book, it's just a fake copy, except for the first few pages with some text. The rest were completely blank." The white fox was surprised looking at the book thrown in front of him. "How is this possible? Is this real?" Ning Huayan looked at it coldly and said, "Take it. Avenge your parents." The white fox picked up the book, moved to tears. "Thank you, benefactor. From now on, you are the reincarnation of my parents. Please let me stay by your side." Ning Huayan remembered Yuan Huang and smiled helplessly. "Yuan Huang will definitely be jealous," I said. "You don't need to do this." The white fox looked at her with determination in his eyes. "How can that be? Little fox keeps his word. Just agree with little fox." Mother once taught little fox massage techniques. They're very effective for nourishing beauty in women. Hearing this, Ning Huayan sighed and replied, "If you say so, then let me try it before deciding. I've also heard that Fox Clan members are very good at massages." The white fox used its 4 small, cute paws to massage Ning Huayan. It gently pushed and massaged. "Benefactor, how does it feel?" Little fox has even more powerful techniques. Ning Huayan lay comfortably on the bed and replied, "It's not bad, but it's a bit ticklish." The white fox licked her bare shoulders with its tongue. "Benefactor's skin smells so good." Ning Huayan smiled and said, "The Fox Clan's techniques are indeed powerful." The white fox massaged her calmly and said, "Benefactor, this is just the basics. Little fox's best technique is for enhancing growth. If practiced consistently over time, it can make you the most beautiful woman in the world." Hearing this, Ning Huayan was somewhat moved. That does sound appealing, having someone massage me every day, and it can even. She imagined the cute white fox massaging her daily. "Benefactor, is this pressure enough? Here I come again. I'm back." Thinking of this, Ning Huayan agreed to let it stay. "If that's the case, you can stay." The white fox looked at her with surprise and joy, asking again, "Is it true?" Ning Huayan nodded and said, You can cultivate at my place first. I can also guide you in cultivation." The white fox looked at her with happiness, gratitude, and joy. "Thank you, benefactor. From now on, I swear to always follow you, dedicating my life to repay your kindness." Ning Huayan sat up, smiling gently as she patted its head. "From now on, you should call me master." The white fox looked at her and softly called, "Master." It remembered what its mother had said before. "Little Fei, remember this well. This technique can only be used on the person you like the most." "Mother, Little Fei has found the person I like." "Master, from now on, you are the person Little Fei likes the most." The next day, I took Little Fei to find Master. Master had always doted on me. Whoever I gave the mixed origin scripture to, Master had no objections, but it angered senior sister, making her dislike me more and more. Back to reality, Hu Fei looked at Ning Huayan worriedly and asked, "Master, are you all right?" Ning Huayan smiled and said, "It's nothing. Just remembering some things." Chow Jiao beside her made an "oh" sound. "We've been traveling for so long, I think Master must be very hungry by now. Let's go to the Ho clan village up ahead. Let's find something to eat." Nguyen Huang on his shoulder looked at Nin Huayan, who also agreed. That's right, Nguyen Huang is also a bit hungry. Remembering the handsome man still waiting for her, Nin Huayan's cheeks flushed red as she nodded in agreement. Just do as Little Five says. Let's go into the village ahead to find food." That's right, this master is indeed a bit hungry. Hearing this, Chow Giao handed her a package of snacks. "If Master is hungry, please eat these snacks to tide you over first. Don't let your stomach be empty for too long." Nin Huayan smiled awkwardly, rubbing her hands, saying, "It's fine. I can still hold out." Chow Jiao looked at her worriedly. "How can that be? With Little Five here, how can we let Master go hungry?" Nguyen Huang also quickly nodded in agreement. "That's right, Master. Don't worry. These snacks were made by 5th junior brother. They must be delicious. Nguyen Huang has already tried them." Chow Jiao looked at her seriously and nodded. Ho Fi, standing beside them, sarcastically said, "That means earlier they were completely inedible." Chow Jiao's face suddenly darkened. Ho Fi looked at Nin Huayan, pretending to be heartbroken, and said, "You thought by bringing Master to meet the handsome men of the Ho clan, you could have Master all to yourself and win her favor. Isn't that right? But can you guarantee that Master won't be seduced by those handsome Ho clan men?" "Third senior brother, you've always been very smart. You should understand this principle, right?" Ho Fi narrowed his eyes and glared at him angrily. "5th junior brother, you really make me want to give you a good beating." At that moment, someone came running from afar, shouting, "Save me." Ho Fi was shocked to see who it was, Cousin. He quickly supported the injured man and asked worriedly, "Cousin, what happened?" The Ho clan man weakly said, "It's a long story. Ho Fi furrowed his brows and looked at Chow Jiao, saying quickly, "Fifth junior brother, please take care of him for me. In the Ho clan, I can't believe someone dared to harm my cousin." Chow Jiao supported the Ho clan man, who nodded in response. "All right, our matter can be discussed later." Ho Fi nodded. "Thank you for your trouble." Then he saw a group of ruffians approaching, and his eyes narrowed, filled with malice. As descendants of the Ho clan, how dare you lay hands on the prince? The leader of the Ho clan ruffians angrily saw him meddling and threatened angrily, "Kid, I don't care who you are, but I advise you not to meddle in this affair. If you do, I'll make sure you die without a place to be buried. In this remote place, I didn't expect someone to know Ho Huaingok. Who is this kid?" Ho Fi waved his hand at him and coldly said, "Is that so? If you have the ability, then try it." Ho Fi looked up at him. "Little fifth brother." Chow Jiao coldly snorted and walked past him. "Don't flatter yourself. I did this for master's sake," he said, then glanced at Nguyen Huang and instructed the eldest senior brother, "Then please take master away first." Nguyen Huang hesitated, looking at him, but Nin Huayan chuckled softly. "If there's real danger, how could master stand by and watch Ko and Jiao fall into peril?" Ho Fi looked at her worriedly. "Master." Nin Huayan stood up, smiling, and interrupted him. "I've made up my mind. If there's really such danger, then as master and disciples, we'll face it together." Ho Fi's cheeks flushed red as he looked at his master, touched. What virtue does little Fi possess to have such a master? Chow Jiao saw this and sighed inwardly. Both masters are always so kind. Eldest senior brother, third senior brother. Tonight we'll take turns keeping watch. We must ensure there are no mistakes and protect master thoroughly. Ho Fi nodded. "All right." On the other side, a subordinate approached and reported to the person sitting above, "Elder, until now, those assassins haven't returned. I'm afraid someone has already rescued Ho Huaingok." The middle-aged man coldly spoke. "Send more people. Even if you have to dig 3 feet into the ground, you must find Ho Huaingok. Then bring his corpse to me." The subordinate quickly replied, "Yes." The middle-aged man with a scarred face narrowed his eyes, his gaze full of malice. "Ho Huaingok, your death is certain." Meanwhile, Ho Fi looked at Chow Jiao and Nguyen Huang, saying urgently, "Eldest senior brother, fifth junior brother, if anything happens, we must contact each other immediately." Ho Huaingok lay on the bed, his brows tightly furrowed. "Ah, don't. I beg you, don't." At this moment, the door was forcefully opened. Nin Huayan ran in, panting. She touched his forehead and sighed in relief when she found he was fine. So it was just a nightmare. "I thought the assassins had already infiltrated. It's so hot. He's indeed running a fever." She quickly rummaged through the cabinet. "I remember there were some antidotes and fever reducers prepared by Ung Thu here. Found it. This is it." Nin Huayan took a pill from the bottle and went to the bedside. Looking at Ho Huaingok, she said, "Be good. Take this and you'll be fine. The men of the Ho clan are indeed handsome. I hope you can wake up soon." Ho Huaingok opened his eyes and frowned at her. "Lak Jiao, is that you?" He grabbed her wrist holding the medicine and asked excitedly, "Lak Jiao, is that you?" Nin Huayan looked at him, puzzled. "Lak Jiao." Ho Huaingok excitedly hugged her. "Lak Jiao, don't leave me, Lak Jiao. You're not dead." Nin Huayan glanced at him, thinking to herself, has he mistaken me for someone else? Ho Huaingok grabbed her shoulders, his face full of worry and longing. "I thought you were dead. I thought I'd never see you again." "Lak Jiao, do you know when they pierced your heart with their swords, how desperate I was, how much pain I felt, how much I suffered? Lak Jiao, you must be a beautiful and kind lady, right?" Nin Huayan gently patted his shoulder to comfort him. "Lak Jiao isn't dead. How could Lak Jiao bear to leave you? How could she bear to die? How could she bear to let you suffer? We must stay together forever." She sighed, thinking to herself, such a devoted lover. "How could I bear to watch you suffer?" Ho Huaingok held her hand, his eyes full of love. "Lak Jiao, marry me and be my wife for life. We'll never part." After saying this, he leaned down and planted a deep kiss on her lips. Nin Huayan breathed heavily and quickly pushed him away. "Wait," she thought to herself, "why is he so strong?" Ho Huaingok flipped her onto the bed. "Lak Jiao, be mine." Nin Huayan panicked and quickly said, "Wait, I'm not." Nin Huayan swung her arm and knocked Ho Huaingok unconscious. She quickly caught him, looked at him and sighed. "He really is a lovesick pretty boy. You almost got yourself killed." Nin Huayan's face darkened. Outside, a member of the Ho clan was sneaking around, his eyes filled with cold malice as he peeked inside. Nin Huayan frowned and cautiously looked outside. Someone's there. This aura. It's not the boss and his group at this late hour. The Ho clan member narrowed his eyes, glancing at the movement inside. "Ho Huaingok, you indeed have an accomplice. If I hadn't suddenly needed to pee, I would have fallen for your trap too. Sacrificing so many brothers, Ho Huaingok, you must die." His eyes flashed with ferocity. The assassin carefully entered the room. Seeing Ho Huaingok lying peacefully on the bed, he carefully drew his sword. "Your last day has come." He raised his sword and thrust it down forcefully. "Ho Huaingok, accept your death." Suddenly, a beam of light flew in, knocking the sword from his hand to the ground. Ho Huang-ok sat up on the bed, squinting at him. Taking my life won't be that easy. The assassin looked at Ho Huang-ok in shock and anger. You deliberately lured me in here. Nin Huayan quickly struck his acupoints. He thought he was so formidable, huh? Made me be so careful with you. The assassin's body stiffened. How was this possible? A powerful fist flew towards him, striking his face hard. Ho Huang-ok excitedly punched him repeatedly. It's all your fault my Lakjiao died. It's all your fault. Give me back my Lakjiao. Give me back my Lakjiao. Seeing his crying, lovesick appearance, Nin Huayan could only sigh. The two assassins lay unconscious on the ground. He angrily gritted his teeth, glaring at the assassin. I'll make you pay for this. After venting his anger, he looked at Nin Huayan gratefully. Huang-ok thanks the benefactor. Nin Huayan crossed her arms and looked at him coldly. Finally come to your senses. Look carefully. Am I the Lakjiao you keep mentioning? Ho Huang-ok bowed his head, full of self-reproach. Earlier, Huang-ok mistook the benefactor for his deceased fiancée, and even offended the benefactor. Huang-ok deserves to die. Nin Huayan narrowed her eyes and pointed at him. If that's the case, then go die. Ho Huang-ok frowned and looked at her in surprise. He carefully picked up the sword from the ground. Very well. Although Huang-ok hasn't avenged yet, if the benefactor wants Huang-ok to die, then Huang-ok dares not refuse. Nin Huayan hurriedly stopped him. Don't be hasty. I was just joking. He really is a good man. She went over and helped him up. Get up, I don't blame you. Ho Huang-ok looked at her gratefully. Thank you, benefactor. At this moment, Wen Huang's group happily ran in, shouting, Master, a group of assassins came. We've taken care of all of them. Nin Huayan smiled at them. I'm sorry, but you let one slip through. Nguyen Huang and Chao Jiao anxiously asked, Master, are you all right? Master, are you all right? Ning Huayan looked at the three with a helpless smile. If you keep asking like that, I really will be unwell. Hu Fei pointed at Yuan Huang accusingly. It's all Big Senior Brother's fault. He let the assassins sneak in here. Yuan Huang bristled, glaring at him. Watch what you're saying. Clearly it was you who didn't notice the assassin. So you scared Master. Zhou Jiao angrily glanced at the two. Clearly you're both responsible for harming someone. Hu Huayu looked at Ning Huayan in surprise. My cousin's master. Could this young lady be that person? So you are the sect leader of Lingqi sect. Ning Huayan, I've long heard of your name. Ning Huayan looked at him and said, That's right, I am Ning Huayan. Hu Huayu bowed, looking at her with remorse. Sect leader Ning is supremely virtuous and my benefactor. Yet I, this unworthy Huayu, just now. Ning Huayan quickly helped him up. No need to kneel. I don't blame you. But if you continue like this, I will be angry. Zhou Jiao frowned, looking at Hu Huayu. What did that guy do to Master? Ning Huayan smiled at Hu Huayu and said, It's nothing. It's all in the past. Not worth mentioning. Hu Fei frowned, looking at Hu Huayu and asked, Cousin, what exactly happened? Do you have any clues about who attacked you? Hu Huayu closed his eyes and coldly replied, In our Hu clan, those who dare to attack me are just those few old men. Because of certain matters, the conflict between us has been deepening. Until that incident happened, they were preparing to ally with other powerful sects, slaughter humans, and start a war. But I rejected this decision. Ning Huayan frowned and said, So they resented you and decided to eliminate you. Tears fell from Hu Huayu's face, his expression full of self-blame. It's all my fault. I clearly realized something, didn't I? But I didn't come up with any preventive measures. Luo Jiao was also harmed because of me. She was stabbed through the heart. Huayu, go quickly. The scene was chaotic. Hu Huayu was agitated and about to rush forward. His subordinates quickly pulled him back, advising him, Miss Luo Jiao sacrificed her life just to ensure your safety. You absolutely cannot come to harm. The entire Hu clan, only you can stop their plot. Luo Jiao glanced at him with a faint smile. Huayu, we'll meet again in the next life. Hu Huayu cried out in anguish. Let me go. I order you to let me go. Luo Jiao, Luo Jiao. Luo Jiao fell into the sea of flames. She used her last bit of spiritual power to defeat the assassins. The servant quickly pulled Hu Huayu away. Hu Huayu's eyes contracted. Luo Jiao heard this. Ning Huayan angrily slammed her hand on the table. Ning Huayan said, I'll handle this matter. Now set out immediately for Hu City. In the Hu clan's royal city, Mo Wu anxiously reported to the elder. The person we sent has died again. The elder's face darkened with anger. A bunch of useless fools. Such a small matter and you can't even handle it properly. Hu Wu frowned and quickly reported, but our scouts have obtained important intelligence. Hu Huayu is leading Hu Fei along with some humans heading towards the royal city. The elder narrowed his eyes, his gaze full of contemplation. Hu Fei, he actually has some skill. Not easy to deal with. As for the others, have you heard anything about their identities? Mo Yu quickly replied, Not yet at the moment. But the leader of that group is a young woman. The elder remembered Ning Huayan. He furrowed his brows tightly. Could it be her? Could she have faked her death? If that's true, then we have a bit of trouble. The second elder frowned and said, although Hu Fei is very formidable, we are not pushovers either. The third elder closed his eyes and said coldly, as for that woman, even if Ning Huayan came back to life, what of it? The grand elder narrowed his eyes, filled with malice. That's right, we've been waiting patiently for so long. Whoever comes will only find death. He spoke softly, giving orders to Mo Yu. Mo Yu quickly responded, yes, I will go make arrangements on this side. Hu Fei roared angrily. I'll see who dares to touch Hu Yang. You killed the king and betrayed the country, attempted to assassinate the crown prince, crimes punishable by death. Hu Yang, ferociously, launched an attack towards Hu Huayu's group. Whether I deserve to die or not, it's not for a bastard like you to decide. Two powerful blows collided, causing a loud explosion. Seeing Hu Yang trying to escape, Hu Fei roared angrily. So this is all the skill you have. You want to leave. You can't escape. To catch a thief, first catch the king. I'll defeat you first. Then master will be safe. Suddenly, someone jumped down in front of Ning Huayan's group. Mo Yu narrowed his eyes, filled with malice, following behind. It's your turn now, Hu Huayu. Today, even if you grow wings, you can't fly away. After speaking, he immediately used magic to set up a formation. Ning Huayan looked at the formation around her, her expression becoming serious. An enhanced formation. Zhou Jiao angrily cursed. This foolish Hu Fei. Mo Yu smiled sinisterly, very observant. To prepare this formation, I've spent quite a few treasures. Attack them all. Whoever captures Hu Huayu's head will be greatly rewarded. The subordinates, hearing the order, charged forward to kill. A moment later, Ning Huayan's group was panting, looking at the assassins lying on the ground. Ning Huayan narrowed her eyes, looking at Mo Yu. I didn't expect this formation to be so powerful. This time we're in trouble. Mo Yu looked at her smugly. Accept reality. Today, death is your only option. Hu Yang, who had arrived by now, coldly asked, why haven't you dealt with them yet? Mo Yu was startled, elder. Ning Huayan, seeing him, had a bad feeling and angrily asked, where's Xiao Fei? What have you done to her? Hu Yang looked at her coldly and said, of course, she's dead. Ning Huayan's face turned pale. Xiao Fei is dead. How can this be? Impossible. Hu Yang laughed coldly, looking at her. But you don't need to grieve. After I kill Hu Huayu, I'll send you to reunite with her. Ning Huayan roared in anger. You're lying. She clenched her fist until it bled. Xiao Fei promised me she would stay by my side forever. Before fulfilling this vow, she absolutely won't be harmed. Tell me where Xiao Fei is. She angrily swung her arm, attacking towards him. Hu Yang raised his hand to block her attack, sending her flying. It's just a stroke of bad luck. Ning Huayan fell heavily backwards. Yuan Huang and Zhou Jiao, seeing this, angrily drew their swords and attacked Hu Yang. Damn you! How dare you harm our master? Hu Yang waved his hand, easily knocking them away. Fools who don't know life from death. He gave a vicious smile. It's time to end everything. Hu Huayu, unable to watch anymore, angrily shouted, enough. I'm sorry, this happened because of Huayu. Let Huayu end all of this. Release them. I'll let you kill me. From now on, the Hu clan will be yours. Hu Yang narrowed his eyes. Who are you to negotiate terms with me? He then raised his hand, tightly gripping Hu Huayu's neck. Hu Huayu gritted his teeth and said, if you don't agree, you'll never get the Hu clan's hidden jade. Hu Yang looked at him with sharp eyes. I can't agree to your terms. Although the Hu clan's hidden jade is very important to me, I still understand the principle that releasing a tiger back to the mountains will bring many troubles. The renowned Ning Huayan, with his illustrious reputation. If she doesn't die today, how can I have a good ending in the future? Ning Huayan clutched her wound and gritted her teeth as she looked at him. So you've known about me for a long time. Hu Yang looked at her with vicious eyes. Did you really think our Hu clan were fools? I, Hu Yang, have survived until today, of course, because I have the skills. Ning Huayan burst into tears, heartbroken, looking at Yuan Huang and Zhou Jiao with self-blame. Yuan Huang, Jiaoer, I'm truly too incompetent. Is this really how everything has to end? She unwillingly collapsed to the ground. Xiao Fei, it's all my fault. It's all my fault. Hu Yang tossed Hu Huayu aside and looked at her with a cold smile. Everyone says Ning Huayan is the world's finest, but today she's going to die by my hands. After saying that, the two immediately drew their swords and charged forward. Hu Yang raised his hand and knocked them away, both naive and dangerous. He stepped in front of Ning Huayan and said coldly, everything they've done is just a waste of effort. Hu Yang bent down and gripped her neck tightly. They're all fools, those two, and so is Hu Fei. Clearly already on the path to death, why bother with self-sacrifice? Sacrificing themselves uselessly, but it's of no use. Ning Huayan looked at him coldly. "You're wrong." Her tears fell profusely. Hu Yang was stunned and fearfully stepped back. Ning Huayan's entire body was bursting with powerful energy. Yuan Huang, Zhao Er, Xiao Fei, their efforts were not in vain. You never understood the bonds between us master and disciples. When I was lost, it was Yuan Huang and Zhao Er who awakened me. She raised her hand and looked at him coldly. When I needed time the most, Xiao Fei helped me. A great force of power bound Hu Yang tightly. Everything they did was extremely important. Without them, there would be no Ning Huayan. Hu Yang looked at her in shock and unwillingness. Golden core. You formed a golden core. He gritted his teeth and shouted, "I won't accept this." His face became twisted and ferocious. Mo Yu fearfully looked at the power surrounding him. "We were all forced into this. We're willing to surrender. Please, sect leader Ning, spare us." "Ning Huayan, we've surrendered. Do you really want to pursue this to the bitter end?" The great Ning Huayan, with her illustrious reputation, but only knows how to kill. Ning Huayan laughed coldly as she looked at him. "The crimes I, Ning Huayan, will bear." She clenched her fist and a loud explosion rang out. Yuan Huang stood up and looked at her worriedly. "Master." Ning Huayan turned back and smiled at the two. "It's all right now." Yuan Huang lowered his eyes sadly. "Third junior brother." Ning Huayan cried heartbrokenly. "Xiao Fei won't come back anymore." Hu Huayu sat up weakly and said, "No, he still has a glimmer of hope to live." Zhou Jiao helped him up and asked urgently, "Are you telling the truth?" Hu Huayu stood up and calmly said, "The Hu clan's self-detonation technique is the strongest attack, condensed from the sacrifice of one's essence, blood, and 9 tails. After using it, the soul scatters." But suddenly, a jade seal appeared in his palm. "My cousin, born of royal bloodline, can use this Hu clan jade seal. As long as his physical body hasn't disappeared, he can rely on this jade seal to keep his soul from dissipating." Ning Huayan took the jade seal. She frowned tightly. "Xiao Fei, master is coming to get you. You're not allowed to die." "Xiao Fei, Xiao Fei, Xiao Fei," Ning Huayan called out anxiously. Hu Fei slowly opened his eyes and looked at her in surprise. "Master." Ning Huayan burst into tears and hugged him tightly. "Xiao Fei, you've finally woken up. You scared your master to death." Hu Fei hugged her and smiled, saying, "Master, Xiao Fei is sorry. If there's a next life, Xiao Fei will definitely find you and keep you company. Is this a hallucination before death?" Ning Huayan held his face gently and said, "Xiao Fei, you're still alive. That's wonderful. Promise me, don't do such things again in the future. You must live well and keep me company." Hu Fei asked in surprise and joy, "Am I still alive?" Ning Huayan smiled and nodded. You're still alive." Ho Fai's face was full of resentment. He burst into tears and hugged her tightly. Little Fai was very scared, afraid that he would never see his master again. Ning Huayan smiled gently to comfort him. There, don't cry anymore. Master is here now. You were too emotional this time. If it weren't for the Jade Hidden Fox clan protecting your body, you really wouldn't have come back." Ho Fai looked at her and admitted his fault. "Master, Little Fai knows he was wrong." Ning Huayan sighed deeply. "Forget it. I'll forgive you this time. But this Jade Hidden Fox clan is truly miraculous. Not only did it protect your body, but it seems to have also tempered your physique." Ho Fei, embarrassed, he quickly covered his body. Ning Huayan, face flushed, looked at him and said, "Don't cover up anymore. When I used the Jade Hidden Fox clan to heal your wounds, I already saw everything from head to toe." Ho Fei turned to stone. He said shyly, "Actually, it's not entirely due to the effects of the Jade Hidden Fox clan." Ning Huayan looked at him and smiled, saying, "Not just that. Your senior brother and 5 junior brothers have also seen very clearly." Remembering the mischievous smiles on those 2 faces, Ho Fei got goosebumps all over. "What? Master, what's really going on?" Ning Huayan sighed and said, "Little Fei, your master hopes you're mentally prepared to accept the truth. Actually, the Jade Hidden Fox clan is just in time." Ho Huaingok entered and interrupted her. "Cousin," he approached the bed and said happily, "Fortunately, you're all right. Otherwise, I would have lived with guilt for the rest of my life." Ho Fei smiled and replied, "I'm fine." "Have you finished handling everything in the clan, cousin?" Ho Huaingok smiled and said, "It's all thanks to sect leader Ning. The internal threats in the Fox clan have been thoroughly resolved." He turned to look at Ning Huayan with a grateful expression. "Sect leader Ning, my father has arrived at Hothan. He hopes to meet you in person to express his gratitude." Ning Huayan nodded in agreement. "If the Fox King has come personally, how could I not go? Let's go then." Hearing this, Ho Huaingok said joyfully, "Thank you, sect leader Ning." Ning Huayan looked at Nguyen Hong and Chao Jiao, instructing, "Nguyen Hong and Little Five, take good care of Little Fei." Chao Jiao quickly replied, "Yes, master." Ho Fai frowned. looking at her strangely. This statement from Master seemed to have a different meaning. After Ning Huayan and Ho Huangok left, Ho Fi looked at Nguyen Huang and quickly asked, "Senior brother, what Master was about to say earlier, what was it exactly?" Nguyen Huang, lying on Chao Zhao's shoulder, coldly replied, "Third junior brother, no need to rush. When Master returns, it's not too late to tell you." Ning Huayan followed Ho Huangok. Seeing the handsome men on the street, her eyes lit up. This Fox clan really has many handsome men. Just randomly looking at a passerby on this street, there are many who are not inferior to Ho Huangok. It's just a pity. She lowered her eyes dejectedly. Ho Huangok, seeing her frown, asked worriedly, "Sect leader Ning, are you thinking about something?" Ning Huayan snapped out of it and smiled, replying, "Not at all. Let's go." Looking at the towering building in front, Ho Huangok smiled and said, "Do you see that tall building in the distance? My father is waiting for you there." As he approached, 2 guards outside quickly bowed. "Greetings, Your Highness. The Fox King has been waiting for a long time." Ho Huangok looked at the 2 guards and said, "You may withdraw. Thank you for your hard work." The guard quickly replied, "Yes." Ho Huangok knocked on the room door. "Father, Sect Leader Ning has arrived." A soft cough came from inside the room. "Quickly invite her in." The door opened. The Fox King sat on the bed, smiling kindly at her, and said apologetically, "Sect Leader Ning, forgive me for not being able to stand up to greet you due to my health condition." Ning Huayan bowed to him and smiled, replying, "Fox King, you're too kind." Ho Huangok led her inside and then excused himself. "Huangok, you may leave." The Fox King smiled at her and said, as expected of the renowned Ning Huayan, majestic, formidable, and awe-inspiring indeed. Ning Huayan calmly replied, "Fox King, you flatter me." The Fox King slightly bowed, expressing his gratitude to her. "This time, our Fox clan's internal peace is all thanks to Sect Leader Ning's help. Such a great favor, our Fox clan will never forget." After saying this, he handed her a book. "Sect Leader Ning, please accept this item. Consider it a token of our gratitude." Ning Huayan looked at the book in surprise. "This is Lake King." He looked at her, sighed, and said frankly, "I obtained this item by chance. However, because the things recorded in this book are too terrifying, until now, only I have known about it. Moreover, I have never dared to tell anyone about this thing. Sect Leader Ning, I know about you using the Lake Clan's jade to save Lake Consort. I suppose you already know our Lake Clan's secret, don't you?" Ning Huayan closed her eyes and said coldly, "This secret is enough to turn the world upside down." But she opened her eyes with a determined look. "No matter what, I must protect Little Fee safely. Lake King, you're giving me this item. Could it be that you want to make a deal with me?" Lake King bowed his head and said, "Sect Leader Ning is indeed intelligent." Ning Huayan coldly turned to leave. "This matter, I won't agree to. I'm busy. I'll go first." Lake King narrowed his eyes and roared, "Stop." His face was full of gloom as he looked at her. "Ning Huayan, if you already know our Lake Clan's secret, how can you just leave like this? Sect Leader Ning, consider it as me begging you, please. This matter concerns the life and death of our entire Lake Clan." Ning Huayan narrowed her eyes and looked at him coldly. "What does that have to do with me? For me, the most important thing in your Lake Clan is only Little Phi." Lake King held up the book, smiling. "Sect Leader Ning, take a look first. I believe that just a glance will change your mind immediately." Ning Huayan turned her back, coldly refusing. "Allow me to decline." Lake King frowned angrily, looking at her. "Ning Huayan, our clan owes you a favor, but this matter concerns the survival of our clan. I can't help but use some unscrupulous methods." Ning Huayan suddenly stiffened. She collapsed to the ground. Lake King stood up, supporting himself. "Sect Leader Ning, you're still too young. This old man doesn't have much time left. Before I die, if I can protect our Lake Clan, there's nothing I won't do." He walked over and gripped her neck tightly. "You've been poisoned with yin-yang crossing powder, the strongest, most toxic, and cruel poison of our Lake Clan." Ning Huayan's face turned pale, looking at him in disbelief. "You poisoned me." Lake King tightened his grip on her neck and said coldly, "Actually, I didn't want to do this. I also wanted to spare your life. But I know your character, Ning Huayan. If you don't die today, our Lake Clan will be wiped out by you. For the Lake Clan, please, Sect Leader Ning, go and die." Ning Huayan said coldly, "Lake King, it seems you've really grown old. So old that you've lost your basic judgment." Lake King fearfully stepped back. "You're fine. You're pretending." Ning Huayan laughed coldly, looking at him. "If I already knew the secret of the Lake Clan, did you think I wouldn't take any precautions?" She narrowed her eyes at him. Lake King shook his head in disappointment. "It seems the fate of our Lake Clan is sealed." "Never mind." Ning Huayan raised her finger, full of killing intent. "You brought this upon yourself." Suddenly, Ho Huangok rushed in, looked at Ning Huayan, begging, "Sect Leader Ning, please show mercy." He knelt down and hurriedly said, "Sect leader Ning, please spare my father." Lake King roared angrily, "Ho Huai Ngok, who allowed you to come in here? Get out right now." Ho Huai Ngok bowed his head, frowning. "Father, I've heard everything. Unnecessary sacrifice is something Huai Ngok doesn't want to see. Moreover, if it weren't for sect leader Nin leading people to assist, suppressing the rebellion, then our Ho clan's descendants would have become eternal sinners. Father, please don't sink deeper into this." Ho King frowned as he looked at Huai Ngok. Ho Huai Ngok stood up, looking at him, hurriedly advising his father. "Since I was young, you taught me to be an upright and kind person from childhood. You are my shining example, the image I am determined to become." Ho King lowered his head, troubled, and replied, "But I have no other choice. Ho Fi is the reincarnation of the heavenly killing lone star. Now she also has a close relationship with the jade hidden bloodline of our Ho clan. Our Ho clan's descendants, all of them, will turn into the fate of the heavenly killing lone star. By then, our Ho clan will surely be destroyed. I cannot stand by and watch the Ho clan collapse under my watch. If I go to the underworld, how could I face our Ho ancestors, face the kings of all generations of Ho ancestors?" Ho Huai Ngok looked at him and quickly said, "Father, there must be another way. The Ho clan will absolutely not be destroyed. We can certainly find a way." Ho King raised his head, sighed, and agreed. "All right then, I will work with you to find a new method." Nin Huayan coldly spoke up. "Ho King, are we just going to let the matter of you poisoning me slide? Have I ever said I would forgive you?" Ho King looked at her guiltily and uncomfortably. "Ah well." Ho Huai Ngok quickly stepped forward and said to her, "Sect leader Nin, my father indeed has done unforgivable things. It's only natural for a son to repay his father's debt. Huai Ngok is willing to die in place of my father." Ho King hurriedly stopped him, saying, "Huai Ngok, no." Nin Huayan looked at the two coldly and turned to leave. "Forget it. I just advise you to take good care of yourselves from now on." The carriage quickly departed. Ho Fi, sitting in the carriage, looked at Nin Huayan and said, "Master, I know you want the best for me, but this situation is because of me alone. To sacrifice the entire Ho clan, Little Fi truly feels very guilty." Nin Huayan glanced at him with sharp eyes. "So what do you want to do?" Seeing this look in her eyes, Ho Fi shrank back in fear. Master is so scary. Suddenly, Nin Huayan let out a laugh. She leaned her head on his shoulder and blinked, asking, "What? In your eyes, is your master really such a selfish and cold-blooded person? The Jade Hidden Ho clan is the fortune of the Ho clan, tied to the rise and fall of the Ho clan. That old Ho king is afraid that your so-called fate of the heavenly killing lone star will harm the Ho ancestors. But Little Fi, while the Jade Hidden Ho clan was restoring your flesh, your master discovered something. Perhaps because you have already died once, your fate has completely changed. The heavenly killing lone star never actually existed." Ho Fi looked at her in shock and surprise. Chao Jiao asked in astonishment, "Master, you even hid this from us." Ho Fi looked at her and quickly asked, "Is this true?" He curiously looked at her and continued asking, "But master, then why didn't you tell Ho King about this?" Nin Huayan crossed her arms and said angrily, "Although that old man didn't achieve his goal, he had intentions to harm you. So of course I had to punish him. It was also an opportunity to test Ho Huai Ngok, to see if he has what it takes to become an excellent Ho King. I secretly left a letter. Ho Huai Ngok will discover it in a month. During this month, let that old Ho King live in fear." The three frowned fearfully at her. "Oh my, Master's temperament is just like a child's. So vindictive." Ho Fi looked at her and asked, "Master, where are we going next?" Nin Huayan smiled mischievously. "Our adventure has only just begun. Follow your master to pick up Old Six." The three looked at her in shock with their mouths agape. The carriage continued to speed along. The story ends here. If you enjoyed it, please give me a like, a share to motivate me to make more videos. Remember to subscribe to watch the next episodes. Wishing you a day full of energy.